Welcome back, ladies and gents. Away Day show. A week without the Premier League, so less to talk about this weekend. But yeah, FA Cup been interesting. Not too much, I guess, is really...
Banned the trophy.
No one cares about it.
No one cares about it.
Random
coming from a third loss in a row from Arsenal.
No, that's obviously the reason I said that. Because obviously, we have a bit of a history as being like big FA Cup winners.
Yeah, the Emirates.
Joint top.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Obviously disappointing to lose in the manner we did last night to Liverpool.
Focus on the league now.
Look,
head down in the league and the Champions
it's a
League.
little bit. Look, we are definitely no question we're in a bit of a slump at the moment. I have faith we'll figure out how to get out of it, but it is concerning. 3 losses on the bounce. We just can't score at the moment. We're leaking goals. We're leaking a lot of good chances. That's my biggest issue with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not 100% sure how we turn this around. I think thankfully January's here. I think we can we'll touch on our investments later in the video. I think there's a few key areas we can address to hopefully sort of kick on. But I don't know. I'm a little bit worried. It's more of a tactical issue. But yeah.
I got a question for you. So, this is a very, very, very reactionary comment I'm about to make. But do you get any, do you have any worries within, yourself, that Arteta is just the guy who's brought you this far and that's his ceiling, and you need now a seasoned professional to kick on with the squad you have?
I don't think
I think that's always...
No, it's a reactionary comment.
No, 100%. But I think it does have some merit to it. 100%.
I think it has is Arteta not... We've got a manager list as well, coming up as well. He might not be seasoned, but I think he's a very, very professional manager, and the people he's worked with...
I like to compare our situation a lot to Liverpool's a couple of years ago. And that's mainly because...
But Klopp did it at Dortmund.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is purely because, I still feel that we are the most cemented title challenge to City. I still feel that way. Just because we've been there for the last couple of years now. I know Liverpool are on the resurgence. But look, the way I look at it is that, Liverpool, the players we think of now weren't those players until, the day they achieved the success, right? There was always going to be the question marks until you hold that trophy up. And I know that sounds dumb, but it's real. And I think the same thing applies to all of our players and to Arteta in that, he's continuously showing that he can take us far, but he is failing at the final hurdle.
Yeah, but
what he has done in the last 3 seasons is bettered that. The previous season, one season was Champions League. He failed that.
Yeah.
Then we got top 4, became second. He dropped off the final hurdle to win the league. Beating City is unquestionably a hard feat, right? And it's not looking like we're going to beat them this year again, or Liverpool for that matter, or maybe Villa.
But don't you reckon that sometimes you need to take that one step where you learn from... I know this is hard in football now, so you have to win, you have to do this. But could you not have a year where you just learn from what mistakes you've made, or if not, or if you just went at it?
So long.
No, but I'm talking about... You're talking about a title and winning things. We've only been in this era now for... This is the second year, or half last year, and this year. So it's not been like he's been in this position for a while. He's developed as the squad's developed. I think it's obviously it's not common these days, but I think you have to persist, because I think he is one of the top.
It is still his first job.
Yeah,
I think people underestimate.
He's still learning as a team.
It's still his first job. It is such a young team. People don't realize how young this team is. They're not 27, they're not 28, they're 23 to 24, 25. They're young. Martinelli's still 22. We looked at this. He's not 26. Oh, he's in a bad form. He's 22, right? I think I like to think the guys at the higher level, because I'm still 100% backing Arteta. I understand your question has some merit to it. I know you're saying it's reactionary because it is, but it also has some underlying merit to it. I'd like to think the guys at the board level, after having persisted with him for so long, are not going to be reactionary with it. I know they're going to want success now because we have invested a lot of money, and we've been close in the last few years. We were so close last year, and we've beaten City. We've got points at Anfield. We're actually taking scalps.
Yeah,
we cruise the top of our Champions League group. We cruise.
Not over first gear.
It's not like we've been terrible in Europe. No. And we're subpar in the Prem. We were easily top of our group in the Champions League.
In many regards, Champions League could be the way this year.
We got Porto in round of 16.
Good draw. You never know.
That is just as big a trophy for us if not bigger than the Prem, because we've never won it, right? Like, so I think we're still in a fine spot. You know, it's hard because of where we were last year at this point in the Prem.
Yeah.
And the fact we've lost 3 games in the bounce, but 2 of them were to Liverpool, right? Oh, sorry. One was Liverpool and then Fulham and then West Ham. But like, look, regardless, Liverpool have been sort of both ends of this form slump.
The start of it, yeah.
I'll make one more comment. Do you not also have a little bit of like worries about the fact that you don't have manager and player wise many serial winners?
But this is the thing though. This
No,
is
but
what
every good team still does.
This is what
This is what he
I
says
say all
all the time though.
Who
Who was Van Dijk? Who was
who
Mo
were the
Salah
serial
until they won
winners
things?
at Liverpool? I know Klopp
Who was Gary
had
Neville
won.
until he
But
won the
Klopp
title?
the manager was pretty like he made a Champions League final.
I know Klopp
won
had
the
won.
Bundesliga.
No, I know, but it's like
You have to
it's
earn
not
that by
like-
winning things. Like
it's. I understand the Klopp is the difference.
Again,
I
it's
also
another
think-
reactionary
I
comment. But
also
I'm just
do
saying,
think, though,
for me,
we
it'd
do
be a bit
have
of a worry.
We do have winners in there. Like we have Declan Rice, who's a winner.
Master's winner.
Declan
Winner
Rice
in what, though?
Declan
Saliba's
Rice
a
is a
winner.
winner.
He
He
won a
won in
Conference
Europe
League.
with West Ham.
It's still
With
a
West Ham.
trophy.
We
It's
have
a trophy.
we have Gabriel. We have
Saliba
Jesus
as well.
and Zinchenko, who are both winners at City. We have multiple country captains. You know, Odegaard,
Odegaard.
Zinchenko. I think we have one more. We have leaders in there. You know, I think we have enough. And Arteta is a serial winner at City. Like he won a lot of things.
He wasn't
at
a
City.
serial winner as a player, and nor is he a serial winner.
He won a few
won
FA
a few FA
Cups.
Cups,
Like he won trophies. Like Arteta
he was a
wasn't
major
bum.
player in a major team.
You know, he was Everton's captain. He was our captain. Like
Well, I think what the point is, though, last year the mentality was maybe a part of a problem. This year, I don't think it is a problem. It's purely just the form right now is just not
yeah,
there.
we just like I think it is as simple as we're just not moving the ball enough. Like we're ball fast enough.
The pace,
Like,
it's the pace because,
like-
like you said earlier,
Yeah.
the touches in the forward half,
Yeah.
opposite
There
his
has
half.
been-
You've got all that. It's
Yeah.
the way you go about getting the ball from halfway to the back of the net because you're creating the chances.
Like,
to get them away.
and the reason I always say like, I feel it's going to click is because of that. Because we have the ball in our we have the ball in our forward half so much, and we're in possession so much. It feels like we're just 1 or 2 key passes away from being able to break any team down so easily, slicing through them. Like it doesn't feel like that we're that far away because we have the ball in our half so much. I mean, there's been clear tactical changes with Martinelli and Saka this year, and that's why I don't read into like the stuff about their output because it's like they're not playing the same role. Like Martinelli and Saka aren't our goal scoring. We want our striker to score more goals. Like we're trying to link up there. We're just not scoring goals as a team, and that's tactical. That's not a form slump. That's tactical because these guys are getting so much wider, and I just think that'll work if we just move it a bit faster. Like you know, but this guy has taken us so far. Like who am I to question his tactics when? Like that,
No,
it just might be.
It's a fair point.
Yeah.
I was just
it's
putting
not-
a hypothetical out
And to
there.
answer your first question about could you be that guy, there isn't 100% a small belief that and small doubt that maybe he can only take us so far, but I'm still 95%, 98%.
I still think, it might be another evolution thing. Where,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you said, the games another evolution. You might just need one more piece.
Yeah.
I keep saying a striker to help this new style of play work, and that might be the thing, or might just be Odegaard waking up the other side of the bed one morning and turning the form back on that he had at the start of the season and last
He
season.
was actually good last night. I thought he was our best player last night. Like, you know,
He's
it's
having
just-
good games, but he's not. Is he?
It's just the
impacting
output.
anything? Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And it's so funny. I think recently we've been talking so much about, I know we're sort of dragging on about this, but like as in how much output is almost underrated nowadays. How much everything else a part of like the game is overstated. Like, his hold up plays, he tracks back. It's like output is still king. That's why Mo Salah is going to go down as one of the greatest players in Premier League history. Because of the fact his output is so good. He has this like, you know, unassuming high output where he doesn't do a lot.
Yeah.
Like he won't, he'll
Doesn't touch the
literally-
ball much in a game.
This
but
is why he plays 90 minutes every week in a Klopp team. Like Klopp drags everyone else. Salah won't touch the ball, and he'll pick it up, like you know, on the edge of the box and just bang it in top right. And it's like
3 golden touches in the back of the net. That's what
literally
it feels like.
that's why. Like I think output is so underrated nowadays, and that's almost why Arteta probably gets a little bit of slack because it's like we're actually lacking output, but everything else looks so good.
function at
We
high
look
level.
so good on the ball. We do, like you know, we're so sort of pretty on the ball, but we're lacking output.
Yeah.
and that's a serious thing to address. But if he can manage to address it, then we win. I think we'll win whatever's on available.
Available to you.
Yeah.
We talk about, I guess, addressing impairment, stuff like that. January's around.
Yep.
January transfer window. We've gone and sort of mimicked a bit of Skies, what they've gone and done one player to sign, one player to sell, loan, I guess, from each of the top 10 clubs. I don't know if we might go through it all at once, then we'll compare our decisions. I'll get kicked off here. So from 10 to 1, some are Chelsea.
Should we just all
I haven't done it in order. That's the only thing.
I think we do just all our Chelsea ones.
Order Chelsea? Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
do
order
that,
Chelsea, yeah.
So I've gone to sign Victor Osimhen, 130 mil release clause. Chelsea, 130 is not really a problem for them. They
had the
spend money. So just, they just need a striker. We talked about a little bit of air. Like, they've got Broja there. We thought we were fixed. Hasn't really done much. Nicholas Jackson's looking more like a winger than he is a forward. So sign a proper number 9. Let the midfielders try and, create rather than create for themselves. I think that's a pretty easy option, either him or Tony, but I think Tony's another club's problem. And for me, sell in Maatsen, someone who was really big for Burnley last year, left wing, left back, hasn't had much game time this year. He wanted to come back to Chelsea to try and actually get a gig at the club. He denied the Burnley transfer in the summer. I think he'll go to another club. Good young talent, proper left wing back, left back. He's in
Very
this
much
modern
linked.
system.
He's linked to Dortmund at the moment.
Yeah, Dortmund. If Burnley want to loan him back in, maybe something like that again. But I think they have to get Maatsen off the books because he wants to play football, and it's not happening right now at Chelsea.
I've also gone Osimhen.
Yeah, I've also gone Osimhen.
Yeah,
I think it's
for
simple.
130 as well. Take the release clause.
The one player I've gone to sell, however, is Malang Sarr. Not getting much game time. They've got a depth of centre backs available. We know Fofana's injured, but I don't think he's of quality to play for Chelsea, and I still think there's a little bit of money you could get for him, probably around the 20 million mark.
Yeah.
I'm just checking the Malang Sarr thing. So my sell, sign Osimhen, sell Broja.
Yeah, I like that.
Like as in, I think he's too good to be a third choice because that's what he
It
will
will
be.
be a third choice.
Where the hell's Malang Sarr? I think he's too good to be a third choice. We saw how good he was at Southampton.
Clinical.
Like as in, I thought he's had 0 appearances this year, but yeah, I just think that you sign Osimhen. He's going to obviously be clear choice number 1. Broja's not going to get a look in at all. Yeah. And I think for the sake of his career, needs to move somewhere if he comes in and try and refine some of that form he had. Because I thought he was a player. I thought Broja had something in him.
Once he came back from injury, he'd be the guy.
But we haven't seen any of it this year.
Yeah.
I think I don't know how many goals he scored, but not a lot.
Maybe down to the team as well, not playing well, probably doubles down. But hasn't been great at all. So next, Newcastle. It's pretty obvious. I'm going Calvin Phillips to sign either on loan or transfer. Okay. Fixes that midfield up a little bit. Helps not play an 18-year-old in midfield. So that sort of helps out a little bit. And obviously, City play a bit different. Obviously, but Leeds play that high energy, high pressure sort of press situation. Newcastle have a similar sort of way. They play a lot of high energy in midfield. They're up, they're back.
Calvin Phillips feels much more suited to be Newcastle than he does at City.
Than what Eddie Howe plays. It's obviously nowhere near that Leeds side, but it's close to.
Such a crazy signing, going to City in the first place.
And just disappearing.
It's unbelievable.
Great
player.
Like
a walk in England's team.
Yeah, but he was probably one of the players of the season that year, and now is just invisible. So for me, that's the sign. Your signs for Newcastle?
Ritz.
Florian Wirtz.
So I think they just lack a little bit in the attacking midfield department. Like Joe Linton attacks, but I still think he's better.
Better as box to box.
Box to box.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think if they could have Bruno and Joe Linton, and then with Ritz there, that'd probably be arguably one of the best, if not the best, midfield in the Prem, and I think that could really kick on and provide a lot of good chances to Isaac and Harvey Barnes and Gordon, whoever's playing up top.
Yeah, I think they probably could use another winger, but I've gone Ruben Neves.
I like that.
Just because I like the links with the Saudi thing and the whole Saudi ownership. One, I think it actually could happen. Yeah, two, I think we're hearing that Ruben he wants to leave. He sounds like they're all sick of it.
We'll touch on that later on.
Didn't last very long. And then I actually think he just provides depth. I think he will start, but yeah, they have. I mean, they've had injury woes for ages now, Newcastle, and he's a player which I think will instantly elevate their midfield.
Prem proven.
Prem proven. You get goals out of him, and I just think he's a quality player, which any team would like to have in there.
Definitely.
Squad.
Myself, I went Matt Target, like just someone. Why is he still there, sort of thing. Not much more than that for me.
Yeah.
Yourself.
Myself, I think I went Joe Willock maybe
Same.
on a loan.
I went Joe Willock.
On loan, yeah, okay, right.
Maybe on a loan, maybe on a sell. I think loan, there's upside. You can kind of rediscover some of that form,
that
which
original.
is why we sold him for 40 mil. Like, don't.
Yeah, that's ridiculous,
Remember,
yeah.
we sold Joe Willock for 40 million.
That looks like good business now,
40
like,
million pounds, right?
Yeah.
And it's amazing business. It was like the Alex Iwobi one. And he scored 8 goals in 10 games, something ridiculous.
Cooking.
And since then, he's had 3 appearances this year, right?
Yeah.
And he's just disappeared. They're getting no output from him, and he doesn't look like he's anywhere near that team, to be honest. Like he's, I think he can be a Premier League player, but bottom half.
Yeah, okay.
And I think maybe try and loan him out to like one of the lower rivals, or just get a permanent, cut your losses, get 20 mil for him, and I think it's a win-win situation for both the clubs.
Yeah.
Can't
So-
make a player.
Yeah, I'd Willock
As well. Yeah. Same sort of thing.
Same thing, yeah.
Next one is Manchester United. This is going to be fun.
So many to choose from.
I'm going to sign Tapsoba from Leverkusen. Ball playing centre back, pacey, closes down space. Not quite the same sort of Van de Ven, but in that same sort of mold where he's comfortable in the ball, really physical, and is not slow either. And be a good partnership there for Martinez, considering Varane looks like he's out the door come summertime. So I think
Does he?
It looks
Yeah.
like that's the way it's going to end up. So that's
You guys are
I think, a
so
good link. And then just obviously sell. I say now, I think Sancho's basically gone. So I'll put Sancho.
I haven't
there.
gone Sancho just
Because
because I
of
want to
that.
mix it up a little bit
Yeah.
because he's already
Same,
gone. Like
same.
Sancho's already gone.
Yeah.
So,
I went boring with that. Yeah, Sancho definitely going. Get him.
Well,
I want
You
to see
know what,
Sancho playing
though?
good football.
You never know. He goes on loan.
no,
Ten Hag
Sancho,
gets the sack.
Sancho needs to go.
Ten Hag gets the sack. He's back. Like, the new manager might give him a chance. Why not? Come a summer.
Look, maybe.
Maybe.
But I don't know. Anyway, so your buy
To Debo.
to Debo, yeah, okay.
The reason I think like that one is
Debo,
it's just a
Tapsoba.
must. No, I think that's a must. So he plays for Nice. With the Ineos 25% now. Sir Jim also owns Nice.
Does he?
Yeah.
All
So
right.
he owns full ownership of Nice.
Okay.
So I think that's a very, very easy transfer to get over the line. And we've already been linked to him as well for the past 12 months. So it's not like someone that Ten Hag doesn't want. So Ten Hag wants him. He plays for Nice, which now Ineos is part of both
That
clubs.
is ridiculous. It's just like,
Check your own hand.
well, it's the fact that he owns, but like yeah, you're just putting money from your bank account
Into
your bank
I think
account,
I can.
and it's just like,
Yeah.
But like,
that's insane.
do you not think that's a very easy signing? Like,
No, I think it makes a
we're
lot of
having this
sense.
argument actually we're actually just talking about it about 3 weeks ago.
No.
No, but we're like, because I think Tadibo was heavily linked at one stage to Spurs. And I was like, this would be a disgrace if he went to Spurs and not United. When Ten Hag wants him.
feel like we see this so much.
But Sir Jim is literally the guy that has to pass the transfer.
I feel like this happens so much where it's like United, there's players they should sign,
Yeah, but
and they just end up going to the rival. So I think David Raya was a perfect
Yeah,
example.
but that's a lot different to this Tadibo. Tadibo
No,
is
I know,
literally
no,
like,
but it's just more like,
But it's classic United. sort of thing.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
like
I
you
know.
need this player, Premier
Don't
League
get him.
proven or proven doesn't
don't
go. So I've gone Elise.
Yeah, I like it.
I think I think you need some like defensive depth and stability, but I also think you're just lacking so much output
Everywhere.
from like I think you need a lot, stuff everywhere. So I think Elise like instantly makes you better. Just just provides a bit more flair. I think you play on the right.
I mean, excitement at least.
Yeah,
Like, at least,
I think you just provide. Don't I feel it's like a player who could like go wrong, like a
100%.
high price tag, but at the same time, I don't know, like
I think anything's an upside though now.
No, I
Yeah.
think that's a very good signing. I just think that we've got a few youngsters on the wings that are starting to get game time and starting to prove themselves. That I don't know if that's necessarily the number one priority. Like,
no, I don't think it is the number one priority.
But it's
I
different,
agree,
right? Like-
but it's just for the sake of this.
Yeah.
Like, I could've- I could've
You
gone
need a
centre
right
back,
winger anyway.
but-
It's better, you could
yeah.
have 3 centre backs and that's just boring. But like if it's like the Zaha thing, will constantly link back to him and it's like at the least I think it'd be interesting to see what if he does come, what will happen because it'll probably be the equivalent of what if Zaha came back because these guys ball out for Crystal Palace and you can see they should fit in a good team, but do they fit in a good team?
My only
That's the
concern
problem.
with these players like Elise and Zaha and stuff is I think they work well in like good. I think they make a good team better.
Yeah.
Whereas can they elevate
Others
a team
around
who's
them
like
and stuff like that, yeah.
can they do that? I don't know, but I still think it's
It'd
exciting.
be exciting to
Yeah,
look, right? Next team is.
Oh, sorry,
Sell.
Sell.
Sorry. I had my. Yeah, you got
So I had
yours.
Martial. I think.
I had Martial as well.
Yeah, so very, very,
Nice cold.
very, very injury prone.
Bro, you know he's signing a new contract?
Crazy.
Yeah, they need to hear this because
Yeah, so very, very injury prone. Hasn't had the output in a long time. Doesn't get game time.
he's also just like reminiscent of like every other regime. Like it's
He
just
was
like
literally under every other than.
It's actually
Moyes.
insane.
Was he ever? He was ever the manager. He was
Yeah,
signed by
he's been
Van
there-
Gaal.
he's been
He was
there from
Mourinho.
every-
he's just like this like itch you can't.
and he had
scratch.
one good season. That's the
Like,
under.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Don't be wrong. He's had one good season. Like as in he's doing nothing on the pitch. But I think it's also just like a dressing room thing. It's just like an old, stale, like pain in the ass that just exists there. I'm telling you, like he's just like a reminder of everything that goes wrong at United, like the Ballon d'Or clause.
But
this
I
and
was
that.
saying, but the Ballon d'Or
it's
clause,
just,
like, never know.
it's just like he just needs to go. It's just like a absolute must, I think, for United. But for some reason, they're gonna sign a new contract with him. I don't.
Every manager seems to like him, but I don't know how you can like a guy that never turns up. He's always injured.
I just don't get it at all. If
He
he's
does,
just so
he's
stale.
not a bad player there. He's just
No, but
injury
it's just,
prone though.
but it's also like
I think the injuries have
fresh
made
start, man. Just get rid of
yeah,
him.
like the injuries have made him a bad player. Like I still don't reckon he runs anywhere near the pace he used to run. Like,
Even
Oh,
if he's
no,
half decent,
definitely
it's
not.
just like I think Lacazette was half decent. You just need to get rid of him.
yeah,
Like
fresh
cut ties with
cut
this
ties
guy.
and go again, right?
I think it's such an underrated. Like, yeah, you just need to cut ties, get some fresh faces in the door, get some players who aren't going to compare the previous Man United manager to the new one. Like, Louis Van Gaal did this better. Like,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was way better at speaking English than Ten Hag.
Well, who of the rumours came in when Ted Hag first came that he couldn't speak English?
Oh,
It was the most
yeah.
random. Ted Hag can't speak English.
I don't know, but I just think it's like
You're right though. It's a signing that has just lingered around and never been sold. But
Yeah.
you're right. Every manager's re-signed him. I think every management they've all re-signed him.
I don't get
Which is
it. But I think
ridiculous.
he needs to go. I think
It's time to go. Eh?
all other good managers seem to remove all the old staleness. Like Pep
Yeah.
did it as soon as he got to City. Get rid of Joe Hart. Get rid of all these.
But I think the thing is, when you've got so many of them, it's easier said than done.
You have a
we've
few,
got-
but I don't think
I
you have
reckon
as many
8
as
to
you
10.
think. No, but I think there's one. I think he's the oldest, mate. Like
I know
from
he's the
bottom.
oldest, but there would be 8 to 10 of those players that just seem to like linger around like cockroaches, like really like.
like cockroaches. Hilarious. But yeah, that's my cell. That's our cell.
Like it's like we've got a cockroach problem and we can't like.
You need some spray.
Yeah.
no one
The more
knows
team, mate. The more
You
team.
can't
Or
even,
we need to like.
you can't turn it off safety mode. Like, you have to-
Or we got like holes in the wall that we got to fill.
you have like a nest somewhere.
Next team's Brighton. I don't know. I struggle with Brighton because you never know what the hell they're going to do. So I went loan in Emil Smith Rowe.
Oh,
I like that.
For-
I like that a lot.
They've got some youngsters.
I
there.
would like that. I would
Yeah,
love
but I'm
that.
gonna say everyone wins. He
Yeah.
wins. Arsenal wins.
I would
Brighton
love
win.
that if ESR went there.
They've
That'd
got
be
Europe.
great.
They've got cups to come.
Great shout.
Good player can play across the front three or can play in behind. Like there's so many spots you can play him. You love him. I love him. I love him as a player
love
as well.
ESR.
He's got so much upside, but we've wasted 2 years
I
basically
know,
without
it
him.
is a bit concerning.
We need to see him on the football pitch. And Brighton with the Zerbi ball, I think everyone's a winner there. So that's my
Great
sign.
shout.
Yeah.
My signing is you got your signing. I forgot who mine was.
Carlos Sola.
Yeah, he's been linked for ages.
Yeah.
I was looking at this. Yeah. He's
So
been
I
linked
think
for
that's
time.
a really good signing. So we all know that Brighton's biggest problem is their midfield.
Yeah.
So being able to fix that gap, fix the hole there with their midfield will be like perfect in the sense that they can try to get back this type of game
It's
plan they got from last year.
it's
I feel
necessary
like,
for Europe,
I
right?
feel like he's the type of player that can very much mimic like a McAllister. Not to that level, of course, but very, very, very similar. Like he's started for PSG.
Yeah, no,
he's a very good player.
He's not going to do the. They still that's a summer problem to pick a number 6 up, but they need just a midfielder to try and at least just get back into Europe or win Europe. That's basically what this signing has to be. Someone who can add depth for Prem and just be a European player or cup player. Basic, if you're even talking the colour way.
He's a player that's been linked, so always that's a
that
positive.
helps
So it
as
means
well.
there's interest shown by Brighton. And he's a player that's not getting too much game time at the moment. So
many players there that-
but he does play probably in a little bit more of the attacking arena
8,
in terms of the
10, yeah.
midfield,
Yeah.
like 8, 10. But like we've seen it so many times at Brighton that like those type of players can play all three positions.
Yeah.
De Zerbi is very good at managing that situation in the sense that he doesn't really have a specific player that plays 6 or plays 8 or plays 10.
Yeah.
It's more of a entwined midfield that's like a triangle that's basically interchanging at all times. So I think he'd very much suit. He's very energetic, which is something that's a positive under De Zerbi football. So, yeah.
Yeah. I've gone Maxime Lopez. So he plays. Yeah. So he plays. He was at Sassuolo when De
be
Zerbi
cheap
was
though.
there. Yeah, it won't be cheap.
Yeah.
He's also on loan at Fiorentina now.
Was he asked?
So,
you
like-
have to always activate that. And
Yeah.
then,
So
like,
they got an option to buy,
yeah.
but I think that's because it's kind of gone a little bit stale for him in maybe in like the last it's like year. But he was obviously great under De Zerbi there, and I think maybe it's just 26.
Yeah.
Like midfield depth, like midfield, he'll
just
start
need someone
for them.
for midfield, yeah.
I think there's so much upside in Brighton's midfield potentially. Like, you can sign anyone who'll
And they'll probably improve it.
pro players. So
Yeah.
I think played under De Zerbi before, and I think he's an option.
So I had trouble with this. I really should write down anyone you can get for 100 mil, sell for 100 mil. But if anything, it's going to be harsh, but probably Danny Welbeck. You got 3 strikers there.
I'm the same as you.
Yeah.
But I feel bad because I think he's probably arguably the most.
I don't see the
player there.
benefit in selling
Because,
Welbeck.
you get 10 mil, but you get
Yeah,
nothing.
you
for
get
him.
nothing.
Yeah.
And I actually think he's. I think. He
I think right now he's probably their best striker, but I just don't see where else you can, because if you pull someone away from any other position, they go weak there.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like
no, I
a
get
double-edged
that.
sword sort of thing. I don't know where you've gone in terms of sale, because I just couldn't find a hole to pick from.
You went Welbeck as well.
Yeah, Welbeck as well.
I went Tarek Lamptey. So
I get this, but from the other viewpoint, though,
You don't
for
get
other
that
clubs,
much for him anymore, I don't think.
He needs a fresh start.
20
though,
mil?
Lamptey.
I think he needs a fresh. I think it's just gone a little bit pear shaped for Lamptey's career. Like, he was hard rumored to the big clubs a couple
Big
years
time.
ago, and like it's gone a little bit pear shaped. Like he's not the star. He's not a starter at Brighton anymore at all. Like, lucky to get a game when their fullbacks are fit. But there is a player in there. I think maybe you could loan him. I think you'd probably bite the bullet though, sell him, try and get like 20 mil, 20, 25
I think you probably
mil.
get 15 off Palace. Palace could use someone like a right back. I think that'd be a good sign for them.
Yeah, I think there's definitely potential. Like clubs ain't fullbacks.
You have to take a
and he
punt
has
as well.
upside for sure.
Yeah.
I think you get 15, 20 mil, maybe 25 with like a bit of English tax and that. But I just think that like he doesn't provide Brighton with a lot at the moment, and I think it's just a bit of like, we're kind of.
It's
It's just kind of, it's gone stale a little bit.
It's on the cut
At a
ties.
stalemate, cut
Yeah,
ties. Like,
yeah.
let's just end this, both of us.
Yeah.
You fresh start somewhere. We'll
we'll
move
try
on.
something
We'll
else,
cash
yeah.
in on you.
Yeah.
And I think that's fair.
It's probably the best move for like other clubs. I'm thinking like mid-table clubs like around that area, just to pay a punt on him.
Yeah.
And then for Brighton, then you need to get another right back, because
I think for
that's the
Brighton,
problem.
it's a bit annoying. Whereas
Yeah.
like, I think Brighton, it's one of those where like they don't want to bite the bullet.
Yeah.
Because his value was so much higher a couple of years ago.
Doubling,
It's like you
tripling
look at it
down.
like, as an investment, it's like so low.
Yeah.
He's bottomed out almost. You can sell and buy the bullet and get what you get for him, or you can persist with him. He's still a backup, like, still a bit of depth.
Yeah.
And hopefully, kicks on. But I think for Lamptey's career, he should move.
Yeah. The next team's your favourite, West Ham. Now, signing wise, I've gone with, it might not be realistic, but I've gone with Dom Solanke as my signing. Someone that just fixes a hole. We were talking about last
Yeah.
year.
I'm not gonna lie, you gave me this one as well,
Yeah.
and I think it's a great show.
Like, it might not be, again, might not be, a lot of these won't happen, but like it might be a summer thing where like, damn, that looks really good up there, up top. If he continues his form,
How much do you think he costs?
60 at least.
60, 55, 60. Especially,
How long's he got left in his contract?
that's a good question. I actually don't know.
Because the contract situation, I think, is so important.
It's a massive thing, but it's because it's Bournemouth to West Ham, who Bournemouth are trying to be the West Ham and put themselves
It's
up in
also
this
like,
spot, right?
yeah. I was, where are you going with this? Because I was going to say,
You go,
like with the Bournemouth thing, I think they will not sell him cheap.
no, I was saying because
at all.
they're trying to elevate themselves up. They're
Yeah.
building a new stadium. They're getting new training grounds. The American
young,
investments there.
like-
He could be their poster boy for this new generation. But if you're West Ham, there's money there. If you're going to trying to win European tournaments now, like they're one of the best teams in Europe, I think, out of every competition. They're top 6, top 7 in the
He's
Prem.
such an upgrade on Antonio, like just such a better
Perfect.
version of Antonio.
Holds up, pacey, in behind, link up play, got it all. And he's English as well. It helps. They'll stay.
He is like such a He's just Tony, like just but so much better, so much elevated, and I think it's a great shout. I think it's one of those where like if they have the ambition and they want to spend the money, that is the one.
They've solved midfield. Yeah. They've got Bowen go back in the wing, so the wingers are sorted. Yeah. Defense, I think that's a long-term thing, but for timing, you're right. You nail a striker on.
For Solanke as well, it's like there's so much potential there for him as well. Okay, it's like, they sell him the dream of being sort of like the face of like this new West Ham team taking to like, the promised land sort of thing. And it's like you've been at Bournemouth for some time now.
You've done your dues. Like
you've paid your dues. Yeah, you paid your dues. You've given them a lot.
He was in the championship. He brought them up for the championship.
Well, they went. He was in the Prem. They went down.
He fought them back up. Yeah.
And he's playing so well at the moment. I think for him,
he deserves European football.
He should have no guilt on his conscience. If he leaves them, it's a great move for his career.
Up to Bournemouth, really, in the day.
I've gone Callum Wilson, and that's purely for he's not playing too much at the moment. I think you can get him for very cheap. Obviously, West Ham might not want a player that they can get for very cheap.
He's also injury prone.
But in the sense that I think he will provide you a lot better platform than Antonio's providing at the moment. So allow you to, therefore, in some specific games, not play Bowen up top, chuck him on the right, because some games I actually still think that Bowen being up top is beneficial for them to allow Kudus to play on the right, but then because then they've got a much more defensive midfield. But there might be games as well where they want to play Kudus at 10 to play a more attacking midfield, and that might be against the smaller teams. And right now they're not doing that against the smaller teams. They're still playing Bowen up top.
How much could you get Callum Wilson for?
15 mil.
I actually agree. I think
that's cheap.
I think he's 32 in Feb.
I know he's injury prone, but like
super injury
goals
prone.
per 90 is
his second choice.
You
just want someone against those
lower
teams you can play a bit more attacking. That's it.
I just don't know if he's like Callum Wilson to me. He's just like a goal scoring.
He's a goal scorer.
He just has a knack for goals, right? He's just a goal scorer, right? I think Danny Ings is that as well. I don't think they're too different.
That's why I come from with Solanke.
Yeah, Solanke is so much better.
Solanke can be played in these big games because you saw against Tottenham, he was like involved in everything good.
I think he's like 27.
And that elevates your team then to not have to play this like 35, 40% possession against some of the mid to higher table teams. You can go and take it to them because you can say, we've got a hold up striker up there. We've got a guy who can score goals. Yeah, we don't have to just camp in our own half. Solanke elevates his team to be amongst some of the better units instead of playing Bowen. I'm just saying where I come from. I'd rather a striker can play in every single game rather have to move players around to fit certain clubs. But in terms of a realistic
Jan signing, that is much more
realistic.
That's more
Jan, yeah.
That is much more realistic.
But again, West Ham, they've got a chance now to elevate themselves amongst those.
Who to sell?
So I've gone Pablo Fornals. When Ben Rama comes back, he drops him further down the list. Don't get me wrong, good player for West Ham 2 years ago. Again, I'm looking at them going forward. I'm being very positive for a lot of these teams. If you're going to elevate your team, Pablo Fornals really isn't going to get much game time. Best for him, best for the club. 15 mil, 10 mil for him. Get him off the books for me.
I went Maxwell Cornet. I mean, he's so far down the pecking order.
Okay.
Done, I think he's had 3 appearances.
He hasn't much this season.
He's done nothing.
Don't think the upside's there still though?
Not really. I think he's getting on a little bit now. He was good. He was obviously good at Burnley. And they brought him in, I think, last year.
Yeah, middle of started last year,
Yeah, like for not cheap. I don't think it was super cheap. But I don't know. I just think he's so far down the pecking order now and like just doesn't.
It's a bit lost.
Once again, like I think it's for the sake of his career, try and become a starter at like a top 5 league team.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of where he's
go back to France again and maybe try again in France.
I've got Antonio, but that's on the basis that they go sign a striker.
Yeah.
Because Antonio, it's not a bad shout. Antonio is just a shadow of the player he was.
He's not like a Prem striker anymore.
He's always. I don't think he's ever really looked like a Prem striker. Like he's just had this weird ability. To look good. He's had this weird ability of putting the ball in the net. He just managed to score goals. He's never been like great. He's never had like finesse on the ball or anything like that. He's just been this big bodied, like Jamaican
pace.
Geezer. Legit. But yeah, I think he needs to try and go somewhere. I think that's a good shout as well.
Next team, Tottenham. Again, it's going to be. I think it'll be quite. We've got to get a centre back or a defender in. I've gone Mark Gahey as an option. Something to link to for a little bit.
Yeah. Does he want to be a second though? Like
I know, but
or third choice rather.
He'll be behind Romero and Van de Ven. There's other options out there as well. But I think realistically, he's English. They know of
Do you
him.
sell Mark Gay though that you're going to be a starter?
I don't-
Like, do you sell him that dream? 'Cause I think you have to. I don't
You-
think he-
to get him
I don't-
across.
I don't think he goes.
But he
there.
won't be. He would
He'll
know
be-
he
he'll
wouldn't.
be the
He's not-
backup.
No way. He's nowhere near him.
Yeah, he's nowhere near it.
He's like, as in he's third choice, but as in he's nowhere near breaking in.
Yeah,
Right?
so how are you going to get him? How are you going to convince him to come
Yeah, it's only
across
like Romero being Romero. That's the only time he gets
Whereas I think
games.
you can sell Mark A to United, like you're going to be the starter when Varane leaves.
True.
Like, or you're going to start now.
Yeah.
You're going to start with Lindelof and Maguire and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think for Spurs, though, it's obviously worked with Van de Ven.
How much does he cost as well?
Gay,
40.
45, 40.
50, bro.
But then it's Prem
These
tax.
guys
so.
are expensive, man.
It's,
but
it's
it's
just
prem
so,
tax.
but,
Could be
that's,
even
but
more.
that's where it comes from this
Could touch
situation.
50.
You've got
Young
someone
English
that's
centre-back.
you've got someone that's English, that's in the league at least. You don't have to worry about taking a punt and if it works or not. And if it is going to be the progression of Spurs, and it's actually a little bit different as well. It's not quite all ball playing and all,
Yeah.
la-di-da. It's a bit more of a grunt as well. So again, like you said, if you need to come up with a different team in Europe, or you come up again that they play long balls and stuff, then you can go Romero and Gay. The lower teams, you can play the Rolls Royce and Van de Ven and Romero. But it adds depth there. You know about him. You know what he does. He's looking for a move, and you don't have to hope that another German or French talent works, because they've linked a lot of French talents like Tadevos and and Tapsobers and stuff. But at least then you know what this guy's all about, and he's done the Prem and he's local, and maybe he does get blended in there now and then. But yeah, obviously convincing him is hard, but I think that's a perfect sort of fit for what Ange is doing.
if you can get him,
Yeah.
Spurs will be laughing.
Yeah.
But it's like whether you can get him.
If
So
you can, convince him.
I've gone with the foot champs merchant. Lacroix.
Lacroix.
Yeah. I mean, as you said, the French centre backs, like they seem to be the most on the market. Yeah, the Tapsobers, sorry, he's German, but
He's from yeah.
Tadisa.
No, Tapsober's like.
Tasoba's Ghanaian, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But he's from He's playing Leverkusen, yeah.
Sorry, Tadisa. However you say his name. But yeah, no, I think Lacroix, the Wolfsburg.
Pair
partner
up. Pair up. Van de Ven, pair him back
so,
up again.
Yeah, get him in. He'll probably be more happy to be a 2 as well.
I'm about to say, yeah.
I got Labodka from Napoli.
Do you reckon that suits as a 3 as well? Or would you start him?
He's a midfielder.
The midfielder?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Would you start him?
I think he definitely has potential to start.
Over Basuma
I
and
don't know,
Sarr?
man. I don't. Yeah,
But I
was
don't know. I
looking
think he
at-
has the potential,
I
but
was
like,
looking at midfield
yeah,
options.
I think
Okay, sorry, I thought you were- okay.
midfield's a lot different to centre back though. Centre backs, you have your 2 starting centre backs to break in. It's a lot harder. Whereas midfield, you've already seen how many. He would have probably started, even though he wasn't
the
a starting
injuries.
choice, with everything that's gone on
know,
this
I know
year.
that.
80% of the games.
I'm saying with those two there, because to me, they're almost like a 2. They come like
But you can
Sarr
sell
and-
it to the midfielders. I think it's a lot harder to sell to centre backs than it is to midfielders because you got your starting centre backs. Unless Romero gets,
but you're getting him as a 3rd,
think
or you're
it's
getting him
also-
as a starter?
it'll be a bit of both. Like I don't think you're necessarily selling him the dream that he's going to start
But I'm saying
every
as
single
you,
game.
and with that thought in mind, what are you getting him as?
I'm putting him as above the Hoiberg, but probably
Okay, so
not to start
as the
if
first
everyone.
option off the bench, sort of thing.
Probably not to start if every single person's fit.
yeah.
I think he's also gone through the steps that Tottenham are trying to take with Napoli, a team that was probably not expected to go on win a Serie A. He was very much instrumental in that side's feats last year. So I think he could go to Tottenham and very much help. He's very tenacious. He's very much robust in midfield, which is what Ange loves. So I think that very much could be an ideal signing for them.
I also think on this is that I think Werner addresses the son
I feel that.
absence very well.
Yeah.
So as in he's the loan option. So the loan with the option to buy he's obviously not Heung-min Son, but it's about probably as good as you can get
Down the middle, off the left.
in the time frame, in the circumstances. I think they've addressed that well.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, because he's a guy that's quick, like Son.
Yeah.
He can play from wide. He can play down the middle. Hope he can score some
And
goals for
Charles
you.
is in great form, so
Yeah.
he's obviously going to be on the left.
Left. But yeah, you're right. For what it's really hard to get forwards in January. So
So
they've
super
done.
hard, on loan especially.
Yeah.
Right, without spending crazy money.
No.
You're getting Timo Werner on loan.
Wasn't Timo Werner starting though and playing a lot?
Yeah, he's been scoring goals.
Yeah, that's what I'm
for
saying.
Leipzig,
So
yeah.
if you're Leipzig, why are you getting?
I'm sure they're paying something, or I don't know.
amount.
He probably wants to leave or something. I don't know, but
It's just a good get though for Spurs. Spurs are doing some good
Yeah,
business.
definitely. I think we'd all have the same here.
Self, Eric Dyer.
Yeah, Eric Dyer.
I went Jed Spence.
I like
Jed
that.
Spence on loan. Jed Spence, man,
Back to Forest on loan.
yeah, maybe. I mean, he came and was like super hyped.
The rep from Forest, that Forest
Jed
season, he got the
Spence
rep.
came from Forest, like, you know,
Best right
all
back
the
since
photos
Trent.
of the cigar in the mouth, holding the trophy, like, you know, it was super hyped. He's been like the best, you know, best fullback in the championship.
Yeah.
Helped that Forest team come to the Prem,
Mm.
and I think he's like played like 30. I think he's played 30 minutes in 1.5 seasons. Like, you know, I just think
ridiculous.
for the sake of his career, he needs to go. I think a loan makes sense.
Absolutely, yeah.
Loan and probably like no option to buy because there's so much upside.
He finds
to
that form
as a
again.
player. Yeah, 100%. So much
edge.
upside to him as a player. And the option to buy would be so low anyway. I just think there's no reason to do that. You just try and ship him off to like a championship team or like one
Luton
of the lower, one of the lower Prem teams
Yeah.
rather who are fighting to stay up and will take any upgrade they can.
Yeah. Oh, could you imagine you Doggy
Yeah,
and Jed Spence? That's a serious fullback lineup.
Like so.
That's an upside.
I think obviously Eric Dyer makes sense, but I think Jed Spence like win-win for both club and
The Dyer thing's for me is just because if Bayern are in for them,
He's
you try
injured
and
though. He's
you
injured.
try and get as much money as possible as
just got
Bayern.
injured though.
I know,
Yeah,
but
no, he apparently just like it's like a 1 week injury though.
Oh, is it? Okay.
it's like the fact that Bayern are in though, try and scrape as much money as you
That's
possibly
mental,
can.
eh?
He's not even playing centre back behind 4 left backs, so like get as much money as you possibly can for him and get out of there.
Mental.
Run, take it and run. That's what I'd be saying. Like,
Yeah.
it's obviously
Well,
a decent.
you
I
heard
reckon it's purely because Kane just wants a mate.
I've seen that. I've seen
Bro,
that. There's
literally,
no way.
Kane wants a friend.
There's no chance they're gonna decide.
Do you think it's like you already heard what Ange said? They asked him like, "Do you think with like the injuries you have in the centre back department and stuff, that like you're capable still of selling Eric Dyer?" And he goes straight away like, "Yes," just in press conference. So he's
I
gone.
just
man.
hate the bloke. Hey, like seriously.
Yeah.
Just dislike him.
Ben Davies.
yeah, yeah.
Mental.
Yeah, I think they're pretty straightforward. Those ones. Next one's Arsenal, which is I think the sign's pretty straightforward. Ivan Toney.
Ivan Toney.
I've put
No, you
Osimhen
haven't. You got Osimhen. Okay,
because
yeah.
I think he's more of like a long-term.
Yeah.
Tony's going to be there for a bare time. Tony will be
Man's
there.
there, man's there,
Man's will be there for time.
Yeah,
if we
yeah.
sign him. Like he's only 27.
Yeah.
And he should come at a bit of a discount because he hasn't been playing. Like
Yep.
regardless, he will be cheaper than if he'd played the 6 months.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any like prospect of him being less of a player because he hasn't played for 6 months. Like he might be a little bit slow at the gates,
Yeah.
but he's still
You got
up
the
and
players
training.
still there.
But I just think Osimhen just provides us like I think the height is such an asset. I think players being 6'5" or whatever he is, and his ability on the ball is just like such an asset, man. Like if we're going to dominate possession in the half so much, he gives us the ability to whip the ball in at a different prospect.
Yeah.
Whereas Tony's more of a Jesus type of player, like in terms of build, like
Yeah.
physicality and their build. Obviously, Tony's a bit taller, but like, can we get Osimhen and Jan? Probably not. Maybe Tony we can. Like maybe it looks like they're going to end ties with Brentford, but
I don't think Tony's that far. He's obviously not the same build as Osimhen, but I still think that's still the crossing avenue with Ivan Toney there.
yeah,
He's a
for
guy
sure,
that will
for sure
find
he
a
is.
way to put the ball back in
Like,
those
he's one of them
situations.
for sure. He can. He can score anyway.
The thing for Arsenal, you just need a striker that is a proper number 9 because right now, and again, maybe this is impacting the guys around the midfield there. It feels like you just need someone to dump the ball into and release it back
That's
out.
what we're lacking.
And then cross
We
the ball
lack
in.
that so hard.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
lack like a
Just drop it off to them for a little bit. And then,
we lack like a dead ball threat up front.
Yeah.
So like,
and
so
even then,
hard.
you talked about last week about having another like mindset, a way of going about things. You can't really cross the ball with the players they've got, but when you've got Ivan Toney or when you've got especially Victor Osimhen there, mate, cross the ball for fun. Like go ahead, cross the ball. You've got great wingers that could put pinpoint crosses in. Yeah. You need someone to put them home. So I think the striker opens
think
up
we'll take
so
either
many
one.
different avenues. It's and then Prem proven English, done it, Brentford, been through
and
championship.
Jesus will be the perfect two.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, but there is a reason City sold him. There's a reason.
I think we're seeing that now as well.
Yeah, I think
you're
we are.
limited by what he can do.
I think he did it. He did a job to get us from here to there to here.
Yeah.
But I think we're seeing now why
He's not a 15 plus goal
He should have been a
scorer.
winger. Like Jesus should have been a winger.
In different
should have
world,
been a 10.
he's a false 9, a 10 or a winger.
Literally, because he's great on the ball.
Yeah.
He's
His vision as well.
he's a good like interplay player.
Yeah.
But he said it himself. He's like he it's funny because it's sort of a piss take, but it's genuinely true in that his best ability isn't scoring goals. And I think we need a player whose best ability is putting the ball in the net.
Because you've got everyone else that can do everything else. You need someone just to put the ball in the net right now.
I mean, and I also think it's like we've gone out and spent money on Havertz and Rice, but it's also like it's just that final. It feels like the final like
piece of that.
Yeah, I mean maybe Zinchenko is a little bit of a warrior at left back. I'd love to sign
Timber's
left
coming
back
back soon though.
but hopefully we get Timber or Tommy can play there. And whereas for the sake of winning the league, if we really mean business, I think getting a striker is
makes like to finish it up. It makes sense though, right? Because you signed Saliba and Gabriel at the back. You've done the back. You've told the goalkeeper up. You locked that butt in. You locked the midfield in now with Havertz, with Rice, got Odegaard. The last thing you have to finish.
Everything else.
The last thing you have to finish is just slotting in that one guy.
Like the last puzzle piece.
Like just to drop it in and
bang.
be like, dang.
All that
we're
clicking
done.
we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like bang. We just start banging
Goals.
left, right,
Tony,
center,
30 goals.
It would be sick. It would be so
30
nice.
goals, yeah.
And you've got Tony as well, same.
Yeah, I'd suspect as well we all got the same player to sell then. So Tony's coming in, saying Nketiah out.
I haven't got Eddie, no.
Well, I've sort of followed up my other one. I'd put Smith Rowe to be loaned out something like that. So
I
I would
like
talk
that
about
a lot.
that. I would
like
talk
that a
about
lot.
that. So
we actually have a lot of options. I was looking at like Cedric Suarez or
I was
like,
like, Nani and like all these like.
well, I love Eddie, but I've actually gone Thomas Partey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You get money for him as well. He'll go
I
for
think
money.
he can go to Saudi, and we'll get bare money, and he won't go to jail. But no, in all seriousness, my big thing with Partey, he just doesn't play.
What a waste of talent.
I just want it's almost like the Martial thing. When like is in similar sense and that he's always injured and you just never see him.
But at least Partey
When he plays, he makes our team so much better.
last season.
And I would love to see Rice and Partey play together. I'd
Still
love to
waiting
see
for
that.
Yeah.
But I've just had enough. I want to buy this bullet, which is Thomas Partey. We can probably get the money back we bought him for 40 mil, 50 mil.
Yeah.
He's not old. He's still like 27.
I know you bought him.
Like we bought him at 24. I think it's been 3 or 4
something like that,
years.
yeah.
Like, and it saddens me because I love Thomas Partey when he plays, man. I love his long shots. I'll never forget the Hugo Lloris when he put top right.
Pop bins.
But I've just had enough of him not playing and being injured all the time.
Yeah.
I want a player who's going to play every week there. And I'd rather use those funds, which you get 40, 50 mil, to go buy Victor Osimhen or buy Tony.
The one thing I have on that is just a caveat, just in a hypothetical world. Would you have rather sold Partey last season and kept Xhaka, knowing how things have
in
worked out?
hindsight,
How things have worked, yeah.
In hindsight, we sold Xhaka for 15 mil or
Nothing,
something.
yeah. And he's now in the best team in the German league.
He finally came good.
Yeah.
We'd spent so much time with Xhaka. He scored like 10 goals last year playing
The leader.
centre mid. And the problem is we've been trying to replace that role this year with Havertz and all these players, Fabio Vieira maybe.
Yeah.
Like Jorginho's playing.
Because you could have got more money
Oh, no,
and kept a player that
100%.
would be available. It's just like, yeah.
But 100% hindsight.
Obviously, hindsight, yeah.
Yeah.
But it just seems
No
so...
one wanted to sell Xhaka anyway last year.
I know, yeah,
he'd finally come good.
Yeah, after all those years of persisting with him. And
Oh my God.
Do you not think we'd like Eddie though as well? If you're going to bring in Tony or Osimhen, whoever you bring in, he's going to be third choice.
Eddie will go eventually.
But you know,
But it's also
you
like-
get peanuts for any.
We actually-
No, you get 40 mil easily.
40 million.
I reckon
pounds.
you get 40. You were talking
Eddie and
50
Nketiah.
at one stage.
There's no chance in hell.
No. I actually don't think he's too wrong. We sold Joe Willock for 40 mil, Press.
But Eddie and Nketiah, man, like
Eddie's not that bad.
He goes to
He's
like
just-
League One. He scores 25 goals.
He actually does. No,
How
I
much
think,
did
bro,
Ba-
Florian Balogun scored. He was joined top.
Didn't he go for 50?
Yeah, he was second top
He
scorer.
went for 50
Balogun
mil.
50 mil.
Yeah.
Balogun went for 50 mil, bro. Like we sold Balogun for.
I can't see a
Eddie
world
would be-
where he's worth more than like 30
No, I
mil.
think Eddie goes for 40, 50 mil. 100%.
I reckon 40, 50, yeah.
Ridiculous.
But I also think we've seen Jesus get injured so many times, man.
And
I
think
wouldn't.
Brentford signing as well.
No, but I think good teams have a second and third choice striker in there, and I think Eddie will play in games. You know, Jesus will come on like most games. Like he'll be subbed on second or like we have Trossard, we have Jesus. Eddie won't get a lot of prem time,
But
but I think there's still a chance as a player in Eddie. I know he's 24 now, he's getting old, but I don't know. Maybe we buy the bullet on him. Maybe we do sell him if Osman.
if you get
comes in.
50 mil for him, you take the money.
Oh,
Yeah,
Would
would I rather
I'm
sell?
taking 50 mil and
Would I rather
laughing.
sell Eddie or Thomas? Eddie or Partey for 50 mil right now? I'd probably sell Eddie because it's like Partey can still come back and play.
and he's a player.
Yeah, and he's a player.
Yeah.
Eddie, you probably take 50, 40, 50 mil. Right, to
Rather
be honest.
50 mil.
But, no, I think we get
Maybe
that.
maybe I'm out of touch,
Bro,
but 50 million.
We sold Balogun for 50 mil.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's
and he scored 25 goals in League One.
I'm surprised Balogun
He'd be
was that
worse
much.
as well than Eddie.
Nah, Balogun was supposed to be helped.
Nah, Balogun's better than Eddie.
He was supposed to be insane.
Eddie just scored a hat trick. That's what you guys are all forgetting.
Just.
What do you mean?
Huh?
What do you mean, just
He scored like a couple months ago. He scored a hat trick.
You say just.
Yeah,
this was
it's
bad.
like,
This was
we've played like
ages ago
15 games
against
since then.
Sheffield.
Yeah.
Still a Premier League hat trick.
No, I know, but
Yeah, Rashford doesn't have one, so fair enough.
Bro,
That's a
I
fair
mean,
point.
Eddie can put the ball in the net, but like,
Nothing
there's a reason
special
we want to
about
upgrade.
Yeah.
There's a reason he's already our second choice.
Yeah, I
it.
know.
All right, next team's Man City. I've gone and signed Florian Wirtz, balling out of Leverkusen. Obviously, it's a pipe dream because Leverkusen want to keep their players and want to win the league. But you see what happens when KDB goes out. Wirtz is like going at a crazy level right now at Leverkusen. They play the same style of football. Xabi Alonso got them playing through lines, and Wirtz in that midfield with Xhaka has been big parts of this. So if anyone's to try and no one can replicate KDB, but this guy right now is looking one of the better talents as gettable in that sort of mould. And I know you've got Bernardo and I know you've got Phil Foden, but Man City, there's no limit with Man City. So this is more of like a FIFA career mode signing, but for Florian Wirtz is a getter.
Do you think though he would go to City knowing that when KDB is fit, he's not going to play?
Yeah, I think we saw all these other players go and they've worked their way. Alfred
KDB, bro, KDB's getting on as well.
No, I know he's getting on, but Alvarez
30.
was a $17 million signing. Alvarez was a nobody when he went. He went there.
But we've seen players work
Bro,
their way in
Alvarez
there.
there was a he was 17 mil because of the whole like connection thing. Like he wasn't a nobody. Everyone knew who Julian Alvarez
He
was.
came from River Plate.
No, I know, but there was like everyone knew who Julian Alvarez was.
Correct, but he's
He
not
was
a Ritz at this
He
moment.
was supposed to be like everyone was like, oh my god, how did you get Alvarez 16 mil? He's
Correct,
like,
but he was
supposed to be an 80
small.
player.
No, okay.
It was like how they got Haaland.
What
for
I'm getting
45 mil.
at
Wirtz had like what a good probably 15 months. It's not like he's been lining on
like
fire.
140 million probably.
But Man City, money means nothing to Man City.
I don't think Versus 100.
He's 100 million on transfer market
I
as he's.
think you'd
as
get
he's,
120. The deal would be.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that much.
Yeah, he's been that good.
But you know, like there's a reason Haaland was 40 mil. Like they pay him wages, they pay him signing, but
Man City and Pep will find a way to play him in that team as well. You know there'll be a way. They've found a way for Docker to fit in all of a sudden as well. So Pep's a mastermind. He'll work out a way to play him.
He'll play KDB a bit deeper or something.
Yeah, but I think that's just like, if you miss KDB again, you've got the next best thing in there. So that's the way I've gone with it.
Well, I've got De Jong, and I think he's the perfect like Gundo replacement. And I think he comes from Spain, plays a similar type of football for Barca. I think as well, there's more of a hole there. I know Bernardo's playing there at the moment
They
and stuff, but
signed
there's
Mateus Nunes, like
but they're not the players that Gundo.
no, I know.
Gundo's
but,
different
like,
level though. Gundo's a player.
And that's
of
what
his
I'm saying.
own.
Whereas De Jong, I think mimics the Gundo.
well, Gundo scores goals.
Yeah.
I don't know if De Jong scores enough goals. That is why.
Dog hasn't been that good this
like
year.
once
either.
again,
He
that's
hasn't
why.
been
That's what.
incredible.
That's
I think
why.
Barca's been crap, but that's
This is once again like not underrating, but like maybe like not realizing like Gundo's like the
Appreciating what Gundo
output,
had, yeah.
like the actual Gundo was good, but it was the output.
I used
It
to
was
say,
that Jan
after Feb, I used
We're
to
coming
say
after
it.
Jan and Feb.
I used to say it. That was his time of
Let's
the
see
year.
those score goals because
Yeah.
seriously, he won Player of the Month like every year. in
He
Jan.
won titles off his important goals.
It was insane. He was scoring he was scoring two or three goals, like every week.
And that goes to show you need to replace him. But I just don't know who in the world is Gundogan. I don't know who is that guy.
That's my thing. I don't know if there's a single player out there
that does that.
who can get the output Gundo got whilst being able to like be.
I think Bernardo's also
solid-
the closest
Yeah.
probably you can get playing him deep, but not goals in terms of assists.
Well, Bernardo actually gets goals when he creeps up
can-
as well. It's just he just doesn't get up there enough.
But you're totally right. I just don't know who
Yeah,
you
the
can
Gundo
possibly.
replacement definitely.
I can't imagine other than like a Bellingham. I don't know anyone in the world that's Gundogan level. But yeah, De Jong could do it, and maybe because Barca's been in such bad form. But I feel like every Barcelona player right now, I'm thinking like, are they really like all that? Because they're scraping cut wins against like bottom of the table sides. So anyway,
I'm not massive on this one, but I've seen some links, and I don't know. I've gone Pedro Porro.
it says like a pep song.
Like,
Anyway. It's just a random like
He
Walker's
they
getting on.
don't
Walker's 33.
Yeah, Walker's
Liverpool.
getting on.
Yeah.
I know they have Rico Lewis, like who plays on the right as well. But I just think the thing like City don't have out and out fullbacks at the moment, right? And I think it's the one area it offers them something else, right? Like it's in, I wanted one for the left mainly. I wanted like an actual left back, but I don't know, like there's Grimaldo, like there's players there, but I don't know. I just thought, huh?
Grimaldo's been linked there for like 5 years.
Yeah, I
swear.
know. Grimaldo's been linked, and maybe they could. I don't know. Like there's.
Is Pedro Porro not more of a wing back though? Like
No, I think he is, but like he's not the
It still
inverted. He's not
works.
inverted
Oh,
at
no,
all.
he doesn't. No,
Like,
he's
he's not.
bar
Yeah,
line.
he's not the
Yeah,
inverted
yeah,
guy at all. But I don't know. I just think he offers maybe something different. Like
Yeah.
I think it's more of like a like
Bit of
an
fun with
impulse.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Again, it's
bit of
Man
fun
City.
side. It's Man City. Like what
could
do they
it possibly-
need?
yeah.
What do they need? They already have defending fullbacks. They have everyone who can do everything. Like I think he's the one. They don't really have a wing back sort of. I think
centre-back's
he
playing.
offers him something else maybe,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I don't know. It was a bit of a pipe dream.
It's going to be a problem in the future, that right back, and if Walker starts to
They've
slow
had
down.
weird. They've had weird links with Poro. It's weird. Like
Because it's that sort of like attacking.
if
sort
you
of
search it
player.
up, there's genuine links that Pedro
Yeah.
Poro is going to City.
But you could totally see Pep
At the
working
moment,
Pedro
though,
Porro in.
Tottenham ain't selling.
No,
him.
he's
Obviously,
not
yeah, yeah.
leaving.
A lot of these ones for these big clubs, probably Samba ones. Next team, so selling.
Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, Calvin Phillips all around.
Yeah, Calvin
Yeah,
Phillips.
yeah.
Yeah,
so-
it's
bun-
pretty
bun
simple.
that, bun that.
Don't even need to talk about that
Yeah.
one.
All right, next team, Aston Villa. I've gone Jeremy Frimpong for fullback, right back.
I like it.
Best, still the most unbeaten team, I think. Leverkusen. I've picked like 4 Leverkusen players, but
Am I tripping balls? Pedro Poro used to be at City.
maybe that's why. Or maybe I know that.
Maybe that's where the links are coming from.
Maybe that's where the links have come from.
Go to Wikipedia. See, always.
Or he's,
Yeah, you're not
or
wrong.
transfer market, his past playing history.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
How old is he? I thought he's young.
He's
26.
24.
Oh, 24.
So when was he at City?
At academy days, eh?
Oh, man, this is all a bit weird, to be honest.
Did he go
Yeah,
down?
I've gone,
go on, sorry.
Frimpong right back.
He was at City. He
Was
was
he?
City for 3 years.
Did he play a game?
He sold. He was.
Academy, he would have been academy.
No, he's been. He was on loan. He was sold in 2022.
To Lisbon.
Oh, he's not going to City then. Don't worry about that one.
So I've gone Frimpong right back to upgrade on Cash to progress Villa forward. They definitely need a right back because Konza's playing right back. And that's not your future. You're not playing a centre back and right back. So they need someone there. I think Frimpong's probably the best right back in the world right now.
Yeah, but it's a weird
Touch and
one.
go.
So Conte's playing right back. That's because Cash and Digne push on.
Yeah, Frimpong push on. Have you seen his assist numbers?
No, but you're not understanding. So what happens is they're playing like Cash doesn't really play as a right back. He obviously plays like
He's
more
as a
of
right wing
right
almost, yeah.
right wing.
Yeah.
But Konsa starts at right back because then they play. They do what City do. They play 3 at the back. Digne pushes on to join in. So when they're defending, Konsa's right back, but he's really a centre back in attack.
But Frimpong at least can. Frimpong is not like Cash. That's what I'm saying. He's better. He's better than Cash. He can do everything.
But it's
that
a
Cash
Cash
does, but better.
replacement. It's not the Konsa replacement.
No,
But
they
it's
don't-
no. But you play with Cash to make sure Konza plays centre back, not
Yeah,
right
you don't
back.
need Konza on
It's
the
a
right.
three-way movement because you can't be playing Konza right back if you want to be a top team and challenge for a title. No way you're playing Konza right back.
Okay, what I'm trying to say though is
No, but what I'm trying to say to you is that when
Frimpong-
if Frimpong goes forward, then Digne can play in there, and when Digne goes forward, Frimpong can definitely play there.
but they want both
He's-
of them to go forward.
he's
That's
more-
just how they play.
They don't play 5 at the back. They play 4 and they rotate 1 in, 1 out. They don't both play at the same time.
When a defending Cash drops pretty deep to play as a 5.
Yeah, but Frimpong was a better defender as we have to go back into a 3. Frimpong will be better at all what Cash does, so you don't have to worry about this whole 5 and 3 and 4 and all this stuff.
But
it just
but
simplifies
when
it.
you push both centre backs, both full backs forward, unfortunately, it doesn't matter how good Frimpong is as a 3. When they both go forward, you can't leave 2. We've only ever seen one team do that, and that was Liverpool.
But what? So you're saying to me when they go forward, they're going to push both on?
Well, that's just how they play.
Even though you why
I
would you want
like
to
the
play?
Pedro Porro signing, perfect. But that's just a straight thing for Cash. It's got nothing to do with Konsa's positioning.
No,
nothing.
no, it's to get rid of Konsa starting at right back.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
playing
You don't need to
at
start
centre back.
Konza.
Yeah,
Like
because I know they played 2 games and they played the 5. They have not played the 5
So
since.
what you're saying is you could play Porro and Cash.
The Frimpong.
Frimpong and Cash.
No,
you just play
Frimpong,
Frimpong at
Digne,
right back.
Konsa, and Diego Carlos,
just play
and that's your
forward
And
four.
then who replaces where Cash is playing at the moment?
Cash plays right
Cash
back.
hasn't
maybe.
played the last few games because Konsa's been right back. In all the big games, they have not played Cash because he can't defend to the level
Yeah,
Konsa
okay.
has. So that's why you
I
play
was
3 at
more
the back.
talking about when Cash was playing that.
There was 2 games they played that
they've
5.
had a couple games where they played 5.
And
Yeah.
that's not the you want progression 4, 3, 3. That's everyone plays.
enough.
So you got to get Frimpong, best right back in the world right now. So you sign him up.
Have you gone?
Ritz, which is like outrageous. It's an outrageous signing, but I think if Villa really want to start
If Douglas
compete-
Luiz gets sold,
They actually
then
have money too, though. Villa
if
actually have a bit
Villa
of
really
money.
want to compete with the rest, they need a solid out and out 10. They've got Zaniolo and Buendia, but they're both like
Wendy's injured.
He's injured, and
Zaniolo's
Zaniolo's
gonna
not
be-
the
they're
player.
not going to buy him.
He's not the
They let him
player.
go back
They're not
on
going to
loan.
buy Zaniolo.
he's
let
not the
them go.
player. So like, I think they really. The reason they might not need it is because we've looked so many times, and when we're going through the actual top 10, like left and right wingers, Diaby and Bailey basically play as like inverted
They basically
10s.
play 2 strikers.
And
Like,
Douglas Luiz is there.
Yeah, so they basically play as 2 number 10s. Yeah, but Douglas Luiz again is like more of an number 8.
Yeah, but then this is back to what I said before. You have to change their midfield structure then because they play 3 guys that just rotate through.
No, you're right. You're right.
So you have to go because
that would be progression.
Number 10. He's not an 8. He's at number 10.
Yeah, so it's more something that I think is
Evolution maybe.
yeah,
but,
it's a
Big club
progression,
team.
but I don't think it's necessary. It's not going to happen. They're more likely to sign someone in that arena around the 50 to 80 mil range, not pushing the over 100. I think that's going like even you look at Newcastle haven't even got to that step
I
yet.
don't think the money's a problem. I just think positionally, I don't think that's where you need to go yet.
I don't think they go.
They've got 5 midfielders right now that are all covering that. That's all I was. I think there's more problems at the back than it is in the midfield at the moment.
Yeah, maybe a right back, but that's about it.
You might
Fullbacks.
completely disagree with this, but I think they actually lack striker depth.
Yeah.
I think it's
so
fine.
you don't rate Thuram.
I've gone.
You
huh?
don't rate Thuram. I
I
don't
don't know.
mind.
I think he's okay, but I think it's kind of Ollie Watkins, and then like the drop off is pretty significant. I've got Tammy Abraham.
Wow.
Yeah, so
You can't bench Tammy Abraham.
The brethren together,
I
those
know,
2 guys
but
together. That's crazy.
I just think like it just.
That's not even that. I'm not disagreeing with that.
I
but
don't.
It's going to
I
be a
don't
lot of
think-
egos. A lot of
Yeah,
egos
I
going
don't
on.
think Tammy Abraham like has to start though. Like I don't think he's so opposed to starting.
Well, he left Chelsea because he wasn't going to start. So
No, but I just think, mate, like you know.
You can make it work, but it's a lot of rotation. It's a hell of a lot of
I
rotation.
don't know how you make it work, but I just think like
It's a cool world though.
you bring in like a top level striker who's not too dissimilar to Ollie Watkins, right? You know, like they're not too dissimilar players.
Both England.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
No,
the
but
same
I
build.
don't. Yeah,
Pacey, strong.
Yeah, I think they're kind of pacey strong. And I think
Yeah.
Tammy Abraham, despite being so tall, like kind of gets him behind.
Yeah,
like, you
which
know,
Watkins does as well. He gets in behind well, yeah.
Like they're kind of getting in behind strikers and they have the aerial threat sort of thing. Like I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit outlandish. I don't think he'll cost that much. Like,
Is he still starting it? I haven't got to see. I'm not really tuned in.
nah, I don't think it's the same player. I don't think it's the same situation.
He's
it
not
was.
starting. Lukaku's starting.
Yeah, okay, I thought so. Yeah, I thought
It's
something
not.
was
It's
going
not
on
the
there.
same situation it was like 18 months ago. Like
No, I know.
Yeah.
But I knew it was. I didn't know how much of a drop it was.
Yeah.
Where he's playing or what's going on now.
I don't know. I just think get him back to the Prem.
He's going to come back eventually, right?
And yeah,
It's about
I
who
think he will.
joins.
And I think I don't know. Maybe it's like kind of the evolution of like Villa kicking on. I don't know. I think
that's a serious statement of
Yeah.
authority if you go sign him as well.
I don't think they will. But like I just think it's. I think the drop off from Watkins to Ram is something I don't
Durant,
want
not
to
Thuram.
address.
So yeah, Durant. Yeah.
It's something I don't want to address.
Fair enough. I've
Sell?
gone and sold Bertrand Traore.
Yeah.
Stuck a long way down on the bench.
Yeah.
A winger
That's
that doesn't
fair
see
enough.
it. They don't play wingers anymore anyway, so that's why I've got him on my sell list.
Callum Chambers. So many centre backs back there.
I was gonna go Chambers, but I feel like it's a bit boring. I've gone. Let me just get my facts right here on the stats.
Well, yeah. Why are you getting it up? Like, yeah, about Chambers. Like,
Yeah.
How deep
I think
now?
I think like one of the bottom like Premier League teams would love to have a player like that. Like,
Cal Chambers used to play a role at Arsenal.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, there's not a bad player in him there. But yeah, there's so many players above him. Well, when Mings comes back, there's 4 centre backs.
I think he's like 5 or 6 deep on that list.
Yeah,
like,
so-
there's no
This might be a bit of an outrageous call, and it kind of goes against what I was saying with Tammy Abraham. But I think Yuri Tillemans is a Premier League starter. He's only started 4 games, and
been big the last few games.
You know, I know-
massive performances.
I know he's been good, but I think like if I was Tillemans, I want to be starting at a Premier League club.
Yeah.
I don't know who. I don't know who's around there.
Whoa.
No, Tillemans was a.
I thought he starts like a Bournemouth or something.
He starts a lot of places, but
I think he starts.
do you
better
reckon
at
he's?
Bournemouth.
Do you reckon he's not loving
Not
how
happy. Yeah, no, I know what you're
he's
saying.
winning?
I know what you're saying, 100%. Like as in, but I also think Tielemans is just a couple of years down the track.
He started United.
I think he's far too good to be on the bench at Villa. No,
He
Villa's-
starts at United.
They have a great
He-
midfield, McGinn. Like,
And obviously he'll have to play the big games. He literally pulled the Ander Herrera Hazard on against you guys, but he just man marks Zinchenko the whole 90 minutes, and maybe that's how he comes his role. And if he's happy, I guess from Villa's point of view, if he's happy to accept that, you've got to play
Villa
there.
would not let him go.
It's from the player's point of view is where you're.
I think if
coming
I was
from.
Tielemans, it's like cool. It's been fun.
Yeah.
But I want to start. I just think for the sake of his career, I don't know how much ambition he has or whatever.
Well, he's
Like,
still young as well.
He's 26. Like, as in, you're getting in the prime of your career, man. Like, it doesn't look like he's going to break in as a cemented starter in
There's
Villa.
always going to be a rotation.
There's just too much there. Like,
and Jacob Ramsey's
and I
coming back
think
into favour.
if from Villa, it's like, okay, if he wants to leave, I'm going to sell him. We're going to get bags for this guy. Like, this guy is still, I
50
think,
mil plus
I think you still get 50 mil for him,
Yeah.
mate. Like, you know,
They got him cheap as well from Leicester. They're lucky they
yeah, and I
got
think
him
he
cheap.
starts for United. Like, I think Tielemans would definitely start for United.
Or
So,
maybe not over Manu at the moment.
yeah, well,
Different position though. He's more for me at his best. He's an 8 that can create on long.
I think
I
I think
reckon
I think
Manu
he
and
got
Cass are
I
gonna
think he
play
got to
together.
Spurs. Like, I don't know if he starts at Spurs, but like he doesn't start at Spurs.
He's
But
a guy that, because he's not defensively accountable at times, if he plays in that more free role, big teams don't really take the punt on him.
Yeah.
And that's why he's worked really well for Villa, coming off the bench or playing alongside this sort of
I just think he's too good to be on the bench.
constant yeah, which is yeah, it's weird because his talent's good enough.
And he comes on every game.
Is he
Like I
consistent
know he
good
comes on every game.
enough?
He's inconsistent, but like, yeah, put him next to I think like a really good DM, and
Could be
give
fun to
him
look
some
at.
free
Yeah,
roam.
you need the license there.
Yeah, I think he needs a license, but
Yeah.
I think Tielemans maybe not. No, it's not a Jan Trent
But
player
the
you
fu-
get rid of.
like, a lot of these
Like,
are
I
for
would have
the
gone to
future.
Callum Chambers, but like, I think it's like a player I would get rid of, or not would get rid of, but I think you could see on the move.
Yeah, definitely. Brings the final team, Liverpool. Signing, I've won João Palhinha.
I went
Yeah,
João Palhinha as
João
well.
Palhinha,
I think it's like
The
the
only one I
signing.
want to put out there as just a rogue one, you talked about Napoli. Zambo Anguissa or Frankie Anguissa, whatever he wants to go by now. He's another shout. Not as much of a holder though. He's more
When he
just
played for Fulham, though, he didn't have it in
that's
the
the
Prem.
thing. That's what I was worried about. He wasn't that great when he was in
When
the
he
Prem
was at
last
Fulham,
time
like, he
around.
got relegated
Yeah,
with Fulham.
but he played very well for them last year when they won the title as a part of that group in that midfield.
Just sometimes these players, though, we've seen it so many times with Germans, even some people in like
Yeah.
the French league. Unfortunately, like they just don't come across and adapt to the Premier League.
I just think that
So-
it was another player
so
to chuck in that bunch. He's another physical guy. Palhinha is so physical. That's the thing. He's so physical.
Palhinha is
He will-
perfect.
He will
Perfect.
allow McAllister to play.
You can play him, McAllister, Shoppers, like again, it just elevates their midfield to a whole nother degree.
And then other than Man City, is there a better like trio going around? And in my eye, I love that midfield trio. If you have Palhinha, McAllister, Szoboszlai, creation, physicality, you can't really go past that midfield. In my
I still think our midfield, like
you lack the 8.
no, I think
McAllister's probably one of the best if you play.
no,
the
I
way-
think
the
we
best
lack an
eight.
8, but I still think our DM and our 10 would be better. Like
Crazy
as
how
in-
you like. It's just crazy how you went for Havertz. I don't know what the McAllister
Havertz played
situation
striker
was
last night.
No, I know, but I don't know what the McAllister situation was. But he'd be like perfect in your team.
No, I think if Thomas Partey's fit, then I think we have a better midfield than them. I think Rice is better than Palhinha.
Okay, then I'm
I
second
think-
guessing it because
I think
they got
Odegaard is
Rice
better than Dom.
in, I reckon, the best position he can play was number 8. I think if you get Party as a 6 and Rice an 8, like that way around,
Yeah.
I think then you got one of the probably maybe the strongest.
Yeah,
Midfield.
I agree. Like if
That's a massive if.
inform fit Partey,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is which is the reason I want to sell him because he's never that. But
But could you imagine McAllister's an 8
yeah.
with Palhinha behind him? Like that's just.
oh no, I
crazy.
think Palhinha. Well, I think Endo's good, but I think Palhinha is the one I want behind there. I think I want like a big,
It's big. It's physicality.
physical,
Yeah.
just like an sort of imposing
'Cause
DM.
Endo throws his body weight around,
Yeah.
but
Endo
it's not,
does,
it's not
yeah.
the same thing as what Palhinha hurts players.
Yeah,
around.
no, he does. He actually does.
He's tough. He's physical. And I think for Liverpool, it actually might be a thing you sort of have to get him in January because if Kimmich goes to City with what I'm saying this link for like really cheap, then Bayern are going to get Palhinha, then you miss out. I think you sort of have to try and put in
Probably
the
get
bid
him
now.
for still 60. I
think
reckon
70 mil or 60
60,
mil. I'm going to
70.
pay that.
Which
And
is
especially
crazy.
Endo out
I think
on
it's
Asian
also
Cup.
like such an ambitious signing. Like, yeah, we're top of the league.
Look at our
Let's
midfield.
go out and like sign. You know, maybe they can sign a left back, but like as in, let's go and sign the one position which like can probably kick us on.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I mean, you can't see him going back.
Because then you add depth, then you get Endo off the bench, and you still got Thiago
They
come back.
Graven
and then-
Birch and Endo on the bench.
Yeah,
Thiago.
like Thiago's still around.
Yeah.
Curtis Jones, Bajcetic is injured. He comes back
You,
as well.
you guys are heavily linked to Curtis Jones.
Yeah, I saw. I don't think it's
Like,
heavy, but I saw. it.
Apparently, Arteta's in love with him. That's what everyone's
he's,
going
he's
around.
an Arteta guy. But he's just so versatile.
Arteta's in love with.
That's what I read somewhere. Arteta's
6'8"
number one
ball player.
number one
Jones,
target.
He's not coming to us.
He's your number one target. Apparently, you're 100% going for him in the summer.
Okay.
But yeah,
Palhinha.
touching on the Paulinho thing, I think it's just so crazy how he can be around the 60 to 80 million mark when he's probably already done more in his career than Caicedo's done at Brighton. Caicedo goes for like 120 mil.
Is it because Paulinho is a bit more one-dimensional though? Paulinho,
he's not the other
he's
way.
a defensive, like
and in this
powerhouse.
Liverpool team,
I
he
know,
wouldn't be
but-
progressing the ball
But
forward
yeah,
as much.
he doesn't do a lot else.
He'd give and go. He'd receive it and give it.
29 this year.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's on the the down slope of his
But
career
that's
trajectory.
where if you're a Liverpool or a big team, you'd want him because he's seen it.
Then
He's
100%,
done it.
100%. I think he's perfect for
But
them.
that's why he's not 100 million.
But that's why he's not 100 mil. He
Yeah.
doesn't score the goals. He's not as versatile. Like he's just a
No
but
Brighton
he's
tax, you know, like
But he's the best of the best in that role.
role. Yeah.
For a Liverpool as well, though, they don't really need him to grab the ball off the centre backs. They got McAllister.
McAllister does that.
McAllister's
he's literally
the
there to give
ultimate
them free
player.
run.
He's there to like kill people. Pretty
He's
much.
there to
He's there
bring
to
people
allow
down,
back.
score from headers,
Yeah.
and to literally receive the centre backs and one time pass in out. He'll just
He
he'll
just gives
roam.
McAllister and Szoboszlai the freedom.
Yeah.
Like
But you'll
do
see
whatever they
McAllister still
want.
drop in behind him as well. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's probably the benefit of seeing what McAllister's done this year. We've seen him do it in the past, but now we've seen him do it for Liverpool with their high line, the way they play their football, with Trent behind him at centre back. That's how you know that he'll be able to help out. So those two there, that can be versatile. If Pelé needs to push on and bully on, then that's the saying. That's one of those new midfielders where we're seeing the Prem, where everyone just rotates in and out. You drop in here, you go here, you go here. Because Szoboszlai, he's not a DM, but he can drop into an 8 if McAllister's to go forward.
I think
Or
also
if bodies go
Palhinha
forward.
also allows Trent and let's say Andy Robertson to like bomb on a bit more.
Trent can
You
definitely
form-
play right centre back
Yeah.
if you got Palhinha at DM.
Yeah,
What they do now, where they play like him in there and Matip at right back, or Kanate goes wherever. Because with the ball, he sort of drops in there, and the centre back
Yeah,
goes
it's
out to
weird how
full
that-
back.
Gomez has found form as well at the moment.
Best
so,
left back in the world. And
It's a bit scary.
Yeah, I've gone with a rogue one to sell.
go on. So
Very rogue, but more probably from the players' standpoint. I think he had such a good World Cup. Gakpo. I think he had
Already.
such a
I know that was only I was
quick
looking at
turnaround.
Gakpo as
he
well,
had
but it is
such a
already.
good
It
he
is
had such a good World Cup. He had such a good
He was
projection in his
scoring
career.
so- he was scoring so many
Dude,
goals.
Where is okay? Unless Salah leaves, really, and there's so many attacking
He's the fifth
players
choice.
at Liverpool that he's not getting game time anytime soon. They're persisting with Nunes. Nunes is their guy at the moment. They're going to persist with him, and Nunes's like build up play is a little bit like when we talk about the Jesus. Like he's just not putting it in the back of the net at the moment. Like, but I can see Nunes still clicking. He's still got 5 goals, 6 assists. Nunes, so it's been a decent season for him.
Yeah.
They're going to persist with him at least for the next 2 years.
I think
then you
Klopp
look on
likes
the
Gakpo,
left,
though.
you're Jota and Diaz.
What did you say?
I still think Klopp likes Gakpo though.
He is fifth choice though.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
he's utilising
where
him
does
so
he
many different
play?
spots. So I think
10
they
pretty
haven't-
much, that's
they haven't
it.
found his spot yet, but
Yeah.
Klopp's trying to find the spot.
I never really understood the Gakpo signing. Besides the fact that he was putting up numbers in the Eredivisie and had a good World Cup. Like
He won like 3 of the first 4 Player of the Month last year, I think, in the
he was
cooking.
insane
Yeah.
in Eredivisie,
Yeah.
but it is Eredivisie. We've seen what our brother
Ten Hag's
Anthony
do it.
does. So like, you know, I mean, yeah,
I think it was more from the World Cup though. Then,
But I still think though,
Yeah.
if you're Liverpool, Nathan was here last week. We are Liverpool. Like you still keep as many of these great
no,
players as
I
possible.
was doing it
Personal, like,
more from him. It was a bit
yeah.
more like your Yuri.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
From the players' perspective, for
I think
sure. Like,
there's a player in there that can definitely play for one of the top clubs in
he'd
the
be
world.
starting- he's
could
playing
be-
at most clubs, I
He should be
think,
he should be a starting
Well, you think about
attacker, like wherever that is.
that's the thing. The problem is, even Liverpool, even outside Liverpool, where would you, if you
He has to be a
if you
striker.
start if you start a new
Surely.
team, where are you playing him?
He's gotta
at
be a
United,
striker.
he plays every single game.
Where?
But where? That's what I'm asking you.
Literally where?
Because that's the missing thing with him right now.
I think he'd go wing striker.
But that's not a position. Where?
know.
So if Antonio FC if you started owning a club tomorrow, and Gakpo was the first guy you got in like a draw, where are you playing him?
He's
I don't
playing
think he'd be
over-
the first player to play, but if he was at United, he'd
No, but I'm saying in
Where
a
is
high
he
world you have
starting,
to.
though?
Where does he start? You're not giving me a
On the
position.
right?
Yeah, probably on the right.
I think the rights is
I think it has to be a striker.
I think the rights is. I think he's better off the left striker or can. Like, as in-
Well, you play him off
Jump-
the play him
number
off the
10,
left
mate.
then.
and play who at the right?
Garnacho's been playing on the right lately.
Yeah, okay, maybe play Garnacho on the right then.
I think
don't
he's
know.
a 10 or he's a striker. The wing thing is weird. I don't think the vision is the same as
Yeah,
what he needs.
I
to be.
agree.
In the
never know
Eredivisie,
the wing.
that's where he more played. It was
know-
only
I know
for
that.
it was
He
only
played
for
left forward. Yeah,
Left
it was
wing
only
or
for the
inverted left wing.
yeah, it was only for the national team that he actually played up top.
But I think that's where he does his best
I think
work.
when
I
you're like
think.
a 6'4"
Yeah.
Goliath, big boy, like you don't want to play him on the wing, bro. You want to play him striker. Like,
Yeah, true.
I'll go. I got Matip. I said it last week with Nathan. Yeah, injured. He's talking about like doing something for the club. He'll go.
what do
one
you
of
get
the-
for Matip?
Yeah,
Nothing. But it's time to move on. Right.
See, I'm a little bit different on
old,
this one.
ACL, older, new era of Liverpool. Just sell him off to Saudi.
Yeah.
And get a new youngster. Get Quansah playing more minutes. And
I don't think he's been that bad though.
Really, I'm not. I'm just saying it's time to keep Liverpool keeping it refreshed. Jurgen Klopp keeps it refreshed. That's where I'm going with. Yeah, Matip ain't playing this season, so you might as well try and
Yeah.
start next season anew.
Play some games. This season.
No, he won't play this season. ACL, he's done.
Oh, yeah, you mean the rest of the
So
season,
start
yeah.
next year with a new player. You might as well. Yeah.
I
yeah,
mean,
fair enough.
I just don't see a lot of upside or something. That's it. But me, I've gone Thiago. I just think he's far down the pecking order now in the midfield. Like, Gravenberch
He's fit again now though, isn't he? He's back.
Yeah, but
training.
Gravenberch comes on before. Like, I don't know. I think Thiago is just, I think it's been a decent spell, decent couple of years at Liverpool. I just think like he should be a starter. So he should be like one of the first names on the team sheet somewhere else. Like, I don't know where he's at with like the Spanish team now. Like, is he one of the first names on? Or, I think he's dropped down. But
he's a hard one though, because under the old Klopp regime, he
was a
worked a
great
lot
server
better.
on
But
that team,
they've changed up the way they play that he doesn't
like-
really suit it.
yeah, he used to pick up the ball and like turn and like be that guy. But I just don't think he really has much of a role in this team anymore.
guess
I
if
think
you
you
wanna
can still get
elevate-
maybe a bit of money for him, like maybe like 30 mil.
I guess if you want to elevate guys around him like Jones,
old,
like
he's
Bajcetic,
kicking
all
on
these
though.
guys, that's
He's
probably the reason
bro,
I
he's
do it.
so far down the pecking order now. Like,
He's behind
Carlos
Endo.
does, Szoboszlai,
He's still coming back
Gravenberch.
from his injury. Like he's still like getting his
He's
fitness back.
but he's always injured. As
I
well.
don't know. Yeah,
The
yeah.
other thing is he's always injured. Like,
You don't get 30 mil for him. He's
20.
maybe 20, but
Just like contract expires free. Like, is he one of them?
Let him walk.
Is he one of them?
I'm not really sure, but I don't think there's much value there between his injuries. He'd have to be 32, 33 at this point.
I don't think he's that old. He's 33 this year.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe
15 mil max.
Yeah, so in that case, maybe there's no point selling him because you just get nothing for him. But I think for maybe the sake of his career, like the sort of the last point in your career, like, you can maybe kick on somewhere else and play for one more Champions League quality team and
We'll go maybe I think you could do
Go
a
to
great
Spain.
role like a PSG.
go to Spain, go to PSG. Like,
He won't play
they
at
love
PSG.
it.
He won't play at PSG. No.
I'm not about that.
You talk about being young and starting to get the PSG midfield is totally revamped with the youngsters they're playing in there now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he can go to Spain or something though. And play
Yeah,
well.
go to Sevilla.
I don't know.
Do a bit of
I just think
a
I think his time at
Rakitic
Liverpool's
drop off
done,
from
personally.
go to a Sevilla or something like that. He could run amok there.
Alrighty. That's our list. A few players in, a few out. Basically the same sort of
That was a
ideas
long one.
though. Yeah. We won't go as long as the next one. We're going back to
How long was
finish.
that?
We've gone about an hour on that, so we've
Yeah.
waffled enough on that. We'll do for the next half an hour to finish off. We'll go managers again. We started the season with it off, but now to finish our list for all the positions, we'll finish, I guess, with managers. We're going to do batches of 5. I think
Yeah,
we
we'll do
agreed.
5. I reckon 5 works.
I reckon 10.
10. Let's do 10.
Let's do 10.
Let's do 10. So we don't waffle enough.
Yeah, that's
You do
that's the
your,
thing.
you do your,
If we do 5, we're gonna waffle so much.
you do your bottom 10 tots
Waffle.
because you always kick us off for these lists.
Okay, so dead last I got Company,
Yep.
followed by Rob Edwards.
Okay.
Then I've got Nuno,
Nice. Yeah.
Wilder,
Yeah.
Hodgson.
Yeah.
Then Marco Silva,
Yeah.
a little bit low. Howe.
Yeah.
Then Frank.
Yeah. They're all around that mark, these guys.
Then Areola.
Wow, you got Frank low, man. I got Frank way higher.
Then Areola.
Really, yeah.
And then I've got Deitch.
At
So
11.
Deitch is 10.
11.
11.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
Yourself.
I'm already lost. I'm lost in the 10. So I've gone, I've also got Vincent last.
Yeah.
I've got Edwards, Nuno 18,
Mm.
Chris Wilder 17, Roy Hodgson 16, Iriola 15, Marco Silva 14, Eddie Howe 13, Ten Hag 12, Moyes 11, and stop there.
Okay. And I've got Company 20th. I've got Nuno 19th, Wilder 18th, Hodgson 17th,
Wow.
Edwards
Even
16th,
his brother Edwards.
Eddie Howe 15th, Gary O'Neill 14th,
Wow, Eddie Howe 15.
Thomas Frank 13th, Dyche 12th, and Marco Silva 11th.
I like it because I don't rate Eddie Howe at all. I think he had a
Okay,
really...
get your list up again. I need to see.
The biggest difference was I had Edwards at
There.
16th.
You need numbers, bro. Okay, so I've got Ten Hag in my bottom.
Yes.
That's
pretty
fine.
dumb.
He's not much. We'll
Yeah,
leave
yeah,
that for the top 10, but I haven't put him that high.
Frequent names. Obviously, someone that's quite high in all of this is Sean Dyche. You had him
No, I don't have Dyche in my bottom 10.
bottom 10, and you had him
The disrespect.
11.
Dyche.
So the last,
Yes,
the
I had him
last
12th,
spot.
he had 11th,
So
yeah.
I was considering top 10, but I just think there's so many good managers in
I
it.
would say.
Yeah, so
Let's,
Vincent-
look, let's preface this before. Actually, we should preface it before. There's all these managers are elite, so we're basically picking like
Yeah, I think so.
Need
We
to
all
from
we all
fifth to
had
15th.
consensus. We all had consensus. Vincent last,
Vincent last. We've got,
and that's because. But we said that because like
and I respect that. We keep saying this. I respect he's kept at it. He's not altered
Yeah.
the ways in the play. He's changed a little bit
it's just not
recently,
worked, and
but it's
how
not
can
working.
you say like
Yeah.
So Vincent, the problem is that most of these guys, everyone above him, has done something in the Prem.
In the Premier League,
He obviously had great success in the Championship, but he's done nothing in the
Yeah.
Prem. It's hard to put him above that.
Yeah.
We were debating before this about like where Chris Wilder ranks.
Yeah.
I think
I had him.
You had him
18th. Yeah,
I had
19th.
him.
18th. I had Nuno below.
I had him 17th.
Yeah, so I had him 17th as well. And I mean,
Off that
we
season
were
when
thinking
he was
maybe he
eighth.
could have been last, but I think you have to give him a bit like credit for the fact that he obviously had a great season with the Sheffield team.
Yeah.
And we can't really judge him off now, but I also think he sort of left on his own accord when he did leave. It's kind of hard. Like it went downhill, but they weren't like last.
Yeah,
I
you,
think they were, like,
you don't know if that
15th,
was
16th.
him, if that was something else. So yeah,
But mainly because he's had a great season, it's hard to put him.
I
Much
guess
lower.
the consensus of low one was Eddie Howe though.
Yeah. So
yeah,
one
so
of the big managers.
Big names. I had him 15th, but you had him
13th.
and you had him
15th.
15th.
Wow. So 15th.
is
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, I'll
That is
touch
low.
on it quickly. I just don't rate him as a manager at all. I think he had like a bit of like a bounce last year with the new.
It was hard not to
ownership.
succeed. Like,
Yeah.
they were so low. Newcastle was so low. They had the whole bloody, like
They were
the
gonna be
old-
relegated.
Old regime of what's his name? I forget his name.
Mike Ashley.
Yeah, Mike. It was all pear shaped at Newcastle. Everything was bad.
Yeah, you couldn't
You
go worse.
say that, but they still finished in Champions League spot, which you'd have to give some credit to Eddie Howe.
No, I
and that
agree.
was the thing that we were actually talking about before, and I was like, how much credit do we give Eddie Howe for finishing in the Champions League and spot? And it should be really high, but you know what? When you look at it like that, you put Ten Hag quite low as well.
The fact that they're
So-
worse than you this season, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
yeah, like it's,
And maybe it's harsh because of what's happened recently with injuries and the like, but I still don't reckon he's probably more in my mind. He's not the right man to take them forward for me.
no.
So maybe that's why I've just chucked him down there.
Yeah.
Because
And I think he's going to get
managers-
sacked very soon. So.
he was good at Bournemouth. That's why I gave him a bit more
Absolutely, yeah.
credit than you guys
Yeah.
because I
We kept them up when no one thought it would be possible.
I rated his Bournemouth spell like
It's the
Bournemouth
same as
tenure
the
very
same
highly.
as Luton. When they came up, that was the same thing. It was like, how the hell this tiny team, this tiny same must stay up?
Yeah, no one knew Bournemouth.
And he kept
like,
them for what, 2-3 years over there. And obviously it went down to that, but still, that's obviously a credit. But when there's so many good managers and recently so many managers have turned things around, I just don't think I can have him. I can have him a
Yeah,
few stops
same.
higher. But as I said, between 12th and 16th, these guys I think are all very interchangeable. Different styles of football.
even up to like
different
8th,
success.
really.
Yeah, there's a few out here that you can move around.
Move on. To
We
the
can move on to top 10s, yep.
So I'll go top 10. So coming in at number 10, I got Gary O'Neill,
okay.
Had him
followed by Moyes at 9, Ten Hag at 8, Poch at 7,
Okay.
Ange at 6, Arteta at 5,
Wow.
De Zerbi at 4,
Oh my! There's everything I don't get at all.
Emery at 3, Klopp at 2, and Pep at 1.
Where did you have Deitch? Where did you guys have Deitch?
11,
Dyche
11.
Whoa.
Bro, you guys got Deitch so low
Got relegated at the end of the day.
with Burnley.
He got relegated.
No, he got
He actually didn't. He got sacked.
Yeah,
He got
but
sacked.
they
They
got
were, I
relegated.
don't know if they were going to get relegated.
You don't reckon he would? You don't
They
reckon he would say?
I
easy,
don't, because-
they sacked him before their easiest run.
Nah, it's BS. Deitch is a baller, bro.
Yeah, he
I've
is.
gone-
I just think
I've
there's so
gone-
many good managers.
I've gone De Zerbi 10, Gary O'Neill 9, Poch 8, Thomas Frank 7, Ange 6, Deitch 5, Unai 4th, Arteta 3rd, Klopp, and then Pep number 1. You had Pep number 1, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gee, if you didn't put on one question,
I just want to check because some people would argue.
I went Ten Hag, Moyes, Poch, Iriola, De Zerbi, Postecoglou, Emery,
De
Arteta,
Zerbi gets way too much credit.
Klopp, and Guardiola one.
See, I want to touch on two things. So firstly, I want to touch on De Zerbi, then I'll touch on Deitch, and then I'll leave you guys to it. But firstly, De Zerbi, I think the reason we give him so much credit is, and the reason you don't give him that much credit is, you go, oh, but he's only performing to what he should be performing this year. If you look at that squad is not a seventh
You
place
guys,
team.
I think De Zerbi gets too much credit for what Graham Potter did. Like Potter,
He put the blueprint there.
the blueprint. De Zerbi's been there 1 year. De Zerbi's been there 1 year. Potter did this for like 3-4 years. Like
That's where I come from because he's done it
like-
for 3-4 years, and De Zerbi's I think sped it up so fast.
Yeah, De Zerbi's
He's
taken it to the
accelerated
next level though.
no,
They were
I'm
at
not
middle
convinced.
place. They were middle table.
I think
Now
there's-
they're starting to push like Europe.
Middle table. They're also middle table.
They were
They're
never
in Europe.
7-6.
They're in Europe right now,
No, I know. Well, no, I know, but I'm saying as in,
and that's in
Like-
Europe as well. Sorry, they're
like-
both in Europe's.
I think, I just think De Zerbi's done like he's taken them from where they were to like to the same spot. I know.
Not the same. And to lose Caicedo and McAllister, your two best players in the team.
No, but Potter lost players as well. Like,
Yeah, but not of that regard. We'll actually. How many times have you said this year going through? Oh, I'm waiting for.
They literally lost their player of the year in Cucurella. Like, I don't think you guys understand. Cucurella was their player of the year the season he left.
And then Potter left 3
Yeah, they
months
brought
after
in
that.
Estupiñán, who just replaced it.
No, but what I'm
replaced
saying
him
is-
straight away like that. Who
They lost
now?
Basuma, like,
Yeah, but they lost him, and they haven't really replaced Caicedo and McAllister, which is in the past they've always gone through and replaced them. So they replaced Basuma, they brought in Caicedo. They replaced Cucurella, they brought in Estupiñán. They've made
I
good
just think
replacements.
the difference in the two of them, and I'm all for what you're saying.
I just think it's
I still agree with what you're saying. It's
been 1 year.
But I
How
think
can
he's
you be-
sped the progression up, top of a European group, sitting in sixth in the Premier League.
Seventh.
Seventh. The way they play their football, it's from the blueprint that Potter set, but it's to a different level. It's not what Potter was. It's a different step from what Potter was doing.
it's also
It's accelerated. The progression of the club has been improved by De Zerbi. It was set foundationally down by Potter. The way they
They're
played,
seventh.
the way they signed.
but it's also 3 points off 11th. Like,
But read the clubs they're ahead of. Read me the clubs they're ahead of.
they're ahead of good clubs. But I want to see
And
where
that's down to the way he
No,
plays
but
and the way they
I just want to
coach.
see where they finish because I look at a lot of their results recently. Like that, it's I just don't think
And
it's
this is
been
coming
great
from me.
for
I've been
like-
quite critical in Brighton the way they've been playing,
like,
but I still think the way that De Zerbi coaches, and this thing he coaches very, very well.
They haven't been having too bad of results recently.
it's pretty yo-yo. Like, which is fine for Brighton, which is fine. And they're currently exceeding expectation because I think we all had them ninth. So it's like, it's hard to dispute that. I just think, what do you guys have on your thing?
Sixth.
Sixth and
Fifth.
I just think fifth is really high. Like, I think we have managers who have been able to achieve tangible sort of results, by performing with a Burnley or doing things with much lesser clubs.
You got the top of the Europa League group.
It's
with a
good.
group with
It's
Ajax
good.
and all
I just
these
don't think it's a
big
big enough
European
time period.
So what do you reckon
I
Brighton-
I think it's been 1 year. Like, I think it's hard to put De Zerbi in that bracket when it's been 1 year. Just personally, I don't know. I want to see.
Then what's okay? Yeah.
No,
that's different
they're
level.
overperforming
You're right.
for the
No, you're
players
right.
on
You're
the
If
right.
he finishes the season in these spots,
No,
he will
you're
be
correct,
elevated
yeah.
immensely. Like, he will go from 10th to probably 5th, genuinely. Because I think that makes I think that makes such a difference. Like where you finish,
Yeah, no, it
and
makes-
where they are now. I just think,
That's fair enough.
I think 3 points from where they are now to 11th, like from overperforming to underperforming, is minimal. And if that, I can only judge them off where they are now, 100%. But I also think it's about where they can get to, or where they end the season. That for me will have a massive impact on De Zerbi's spot.
Yeah, I want to touch on Deitch as well, and yeah, I agree with how high you put
So
him.
I Deitch fifth, and that's purely because
I'm
what
big
he's
on.
done.
I'm huge on Deitch and Moyes, so I've been huge on them. Just the fact that he's only just come to Everton and stuff is probably just like
How long has he been at Everton? How long
altered
has he been there?
right at the end of last year.
Yeah.
probably
But it's just
8 months.
So
altered.
he's kept them up.
Yeah, so it's altered a bit of my perception on how good of a manager he is. I definitely don't have any complaints for you putting him fifth.
Like that
and
Burnley team was so bad.
I wanted to. I just looked at the managers above him and I thought, in the last 18 months, they've done more than him.
We're also the same guys. You're also the same guys always saying, I know you're not really disputing it, but saying if Everton had 10 more points, they'd be
Eighth or ninth in the Prem.
now they would be, they'd be 12th.
12th.
But
I don't know who
we've
Chelsea
just said though how small the point gap is though.
Oh, but
As in between 7th and where they would be.
So they're going to lose
5
another
points.
10?
Huh?
They're going to lose another 10 though.
Everton.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
the thing that I like on Daesh, I appreciate it. And, in my list, 12th is pretty impressed considering the way he has to play. The way he has to play football. The thing I've been really impressed with is the way that he has evolutionized his style of football.
Yeah.
It's no longer just counter attack.
Yeah.
They are out XGing and out shooting teams by playing 35, 38% possession. So it's still, absorb pressure, but he's playing a different way that now he's probably got the talent from Burnley. He's got more talent that he goes and he set his team up to create from without the ball. They're better without it, so they can go and not counter attack, but string together attacks. They string together like Ghana, Onana, Decore, all these guys, this midfield. the way they spring their attacks is different to what Burnley was doing. And everyone's like, oh yeah, Sean Dyche counter-attack. But it's not actually counter-attack. And that's what I could have put him a little bit higher, but I just want to appreciate that he's evolved the game a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's learned, obviously, from what he learned from Burnley, picked a few things together and got better plays. And you're right. A lot of these players in this sort of mid-bracket can swing around. I just keep in mind that, obviously it was Burnley, then that's understandable, right?
But has De Zerbi done more than Dyche has done in his career? I just don't know. Great style of play, but
I think it's recency biased.
I'm very recent, but
and surely that makes you question where you put him.
It does make a question. I don't disagree. I don't
Like
some
some
points.
recency bias is like the point.
is it not like
the point that you've said-
revolutionised though what Brighton are about?
I don't think he's
Again, I think the points you've
revolutionised
made
it.
have made me rethink it. I don't know if I necessarily would have altered it too much, but
Yeah.
it's definitely made me rethink it.
still think-
like the Potter thing he mentioned, I kind of like just
You've got to keep that in mind always because he's the blueprint.
Well, I just think
Potter was the
Potter's
blueprint.
Potter's impact on that.
So I
Brighton
kind
team
of
is
like
so understated.
dismissed it a bit to the after you've you've brought it up. I do start to think and I go, yeah, Potter put a foundation and
Zerbi's
he's just
great, but I just
he's
think
just
he's been
pushed
there
on the
1 year.
foundation. It's a bit like if we look at the example of imagine Arteta left and someone came into Arsenal and won the league. You'd say Arteta was the blueprint.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that, I would say.
Yeah. I agree. Like, as in, I think De Zerbi's best attribute is the fact that he is in seventh. I can't take that away from him. Like, I go on about we'll see what they end the season.
Yeah.
He is in seventh, right? So they're currently overperforming my expectation, and he's doing it with a much weaker team than Potter had, right?
Yeah, bare bones.
I mean, you can debate where you think they would finish with other managers. Like you were saying, you think they'd be much lower. I still think they have a decent team. I think their team is still decent, right? But I just want to see a bit bigger sample size from De Zerbi to call him.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
fair. Any other?
Everything else was we had very similar. Apart from if you want to touch on Ten Hag, but
Poch, where do we have Poch? I think it's an interesting one. Where do you have Poch?
I had him 8th.
I had him 8th.
8th or 9th.
Yeah, so we all have Poch around the same area. Like,
But
has Ange done more in his career than Poch? Is Ange a better manager than Pochettino? Like,
I don't know, but I think
that's
you dismiss with Ange. So
why had Ange higher?
no, I agree. I think the reason we all have him higher though is we've understood Ange's career as a whole because we're Australian, and there's definitely some bias
But-
there.
Yeah.
This goes. It's sort of like because they're in fifth. It goes to prove that Celtic ain't. It wasn't just Scottish League or
No.
Asian Cup.
And
Wasn't
you
just
remember,
Australia.
that was
It can translate to the.
And Rangers,
EPL?
what he did at Celtic, like Rangers was the powerhouse for a couple of years. Celtic,
Like 1 or 2.
yeah, but that hadn't happened ever in the history.
Well, it
Celtic
had.
had like
It
their
had.
worst ever season. He came in straight away, won it. You look what he's able to come
They
in.
won treble. They won a
Celtic
treble.
won the
pretty
league 10 years in
Yeah,
a row, bro.
yeah, but he's able
Like,
to come in. You've seen with Ange, he's able to come in, adjust, and straight away
Ange has
have
done
a
it in
bounce.
every league he's been in. Like
And you know what you dismiss as well? He won the Asian Cup in an Australian team that was not the best. I understand it was a home Asian Cup,
that's why I put
but I
Ange
actually
above.
put
I'm
that.
dismissing it. That's why he's above him. But
I put that above the Celtic feat, the Asian Cup.
I also think I think even though Poch is 8 in mind, sorry, I think we've rated Poch fairly, to be honest,
Yeah.
because he hasn't.
You could be very harsh and put him like
like
12th or something because of how bad
it
they're
could be
playing.
harsh. I also think you could put him higher.
Yeah, because of the
This guy did manage PSG and he
made
did take
Tottenham,
Spurs
yeah.
to a Champions League final. Bums don't manage PSG.
No.
No.
As in, I know he didn't succeed there massively,
But who does?
but it's like to get the PSG job, you have to be a good manager, man. Like,
And it's a hard job as well. Like everyone wins the league there, so you basically get sacked unless you win the Champions League.
Poch's ranking is so fine that in 18 months or in a year's time, if Chelsea are 3rd or 4th, and
He'll be like top
there,
3.
He's like
he will
fifth or
literally
fourth.
be. He will literally probably be 3rd or 4th.
Yeah.
Like that is.
He's got the resume for
That
it.
is how big this Chelsea job is for like managed careers. Like, I mean,
But that's the same thing for me with Ange though, because this Tottenham thing was to prove that what he's
100%
done for the last
agree,
10
100%
years actually works.
Yeah.
And shit, yeah, it works because it's working to a great degree.
I think that's why we put him so high though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm
that
sort
makes
of like,
sense. 100%.
because what you say and what you say and what we've all said, it's saying with
I think
Poch,
we've ranked it fairly.
Yeah, with what these two jobs they're currently in are going to prove what they've done in the past. Can it actually work? Can it sustain itself?
All we can base it off is right now.
Exactly. Because
it's like-
both managers have been around for 10, 12 years. with
20,
with
like-
One
like,
did it in the higher leagues. One
Yeah,
did
exactly.
it. And
But they've
there was
kept
always
their
a question
systems. They
mark with
never-
Ange. And obviously it's very, very early on. But
saying
you'd say
it's-
those question marks
but
have been answered to a
it's,
degree.
it's early on with Poch as well, though, right? Because his system hasn't changed.
Poch probably didn't
everywhere
have as
he's
many
gone.
question marks, though, considering...
No, the question is though, will his system work in this Chelsea
Yeah,
team
I
with all
don't
this ego, all this talent? But so far, like
You've
we've
heard
been
with
hit and
Ange
miss,
though,
right?
like he was big a couple of weeks back, and I was listening to one of his press conferences, and he was like, they were like, to take the next step, do you think you need to sign all these world class players? Like if you were Chelsea and you were Poch and you had spent $1 billion in 18 months, would you like that? And he goes, well, I don't necessarily think that works. He goes, you need to if you look at the best sides, you need 3 or 4 world class players, and then just workhorses. Then underneath the workhorses, you need players who are quality, but also understand they're not going to play every week. And it's about having this balance,
Which he's built at Spurs. He's building at Spurs. So
which was the hard thing that every manager has come to with PSG, and it's probably why they've took it the step back. They got rid of Neymar and Messi.
He had to manage Messi, Neymar, Mbappe.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily easy. Like we look at those
No,
players.
that's what I'm saying. Is
and that's not Poch's way. Poch built Tottenham from down there.
Yeah.
Well,
They
Tim
were all
Sherwood,
role players.
stinkers,
They were all role players.
all the way, like Christian Eriksen, Kane, all these. He's developed all these players.
he built
created
Tottenham
Tottenham. He
in the
created
way
Tottenham.
that Ange is trying to build Tottenham now.
That's
really.
almost why I think he's getting a tough run at 8th.
Yeah.
But it's also like, yeah.
Over the last 5 years, has he
the
been
reason he
as
got the
good
PSG job because he was rated so highly back then, and then it hasn't panned out as well as PSG. So yeah, he's been dropped down. But as we said,
Even
if he turns this around
I
with
was about to say,
PSG or with Chelsea,
Yeah,
But Chelsea will
definitely.
prove it because he's built teams up and that's where he's been at his best.
that's why I so much.
If
Yeah.
he can do it with Chelsea where he's given everything, that goes to show he's got a different part. Because Southampton, he built Southampton, he built Tottenham.
Yeah, Southampton
Can
as
he
well.
do it where he gets all the resources? That's because at
Like,
PSG, he couldn't
that's
quite
why
do
I
it.
have faith in Chelsea
Yeah.
to come back.
'Cause
Because I
Poch-
rate Poch.
Yeah.
But rated among the other managers, it's just hard to put
It's
him
hard at the
above.
moment.
It's
yeah.
just sometimes hard as well because when you look at a lot of managers, sometimes I'm not saying Poch is, but so far into their career, sometimes they can just be past it. You look at like Mourinho, who was such a good manager, you'd say he's past it now. Like he won't get another big job, in my opinion.
I mean, should we quickly touch on like why we all had like the top 2 we had, or like just
Yeah, we can have a quick touch on it,
consensus,
yeah.
like as in it's top of the league. I think we all had Pep, because
Treble.
not long ago, literally up until the treble, there used to be a debate between Klopp
Can
and
Klopp,
Pep.
like, yeah.
Because,
But that was
Pep
mainly
can't-
from Liverpool fans.
But it was a thing that like,
I could
Pep can't
make a
do it.
debate about Klopp a few years back. I could definitely argue
Pep
Klopp.
can't do it with Klopp's team.
Yeah.
And if Klopp had all the money, he could.
Yeah.
But I think Pep has this ability. We talk about the PSG thing. If Pep went to PSG, he could probably make it work.
Yeah, he would.
Because some managers can just deal with big name players.
And he demands respect.
Yeah, he just does. Like
Yeah.
he walks in with the resume. Is that why
I think just with like, although everyone goes on about Klopp, that the argument has always been that Pep couldn't do Klopp's job, but I don't think Klopp could do Pep's job either.
Yeah,
so
and
it's such a
that's
hard.
It's fair.
And when you look at both of those, yes, Klopp has done it with Dortmund and done it with Liverpool in a lot harder circumstances with a lot less money or a lot less.
being the underdog, like
But
maybe
say,
it's
he
the
thrives
underdog.
in that. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Whereas
it's-
Pep can
Pep
shine
wears all the
under
nice
the
suits.
pressure.
Yeah.
He can
Klopp
shine,
zip
he can
up
shine
jacket,
under
like,
the pressure.
yeah.
And I think that whole debate, whatever that debate was a couple of years ago,
Unfortunately,
it's probably done now.
Pep, I think now
Pep's got
has,
2 trebles.
Pep is only like
Pep's got-
8 or 9 trophies at the moment in his career off Sir Alex,
Saf.
who's the highest before Pep by like 20 trophies. I think Ancelotti's in 3rd, and he's only got like 25, whereas Ferguson's got 43.
And
And
if Pep says it,
Pep's
Man
got
City next 2
35 or
years.
30.
Is Pep
36
the
at the
greatest
moment.
manager of all time?
Once he ever takes in trophies, I think you just have to say, right?
not yet.
I would sit here and say he is.
I think once
I think he'll finish as the greatest manager, but I don't think he is at the moment.
I think we can agree because he'll finish with more trophies. So absolutely, but once he
Sir
ticks that
Alex
off,
with the 13 prems and he continually with every single time.
He's absolutely like making the Prem a Farmers League. Like he's actually
But so did
the
Sir
biggest
Alex.
thing,
the Prem. No,
the
no,
biggest
he
thing I
He
picked
won
up.
13 in 25 years.
No, but the biggest thing I
but it was
picked
a
up
bit
on though was Thiago Silva's recent interview. He said, "I would have never come to the Prem because it was just high balls and physicality. I only came to the Prem." He said, "I never liked the Prem. I only liked it when Pep came because everyone followed Pep. Everyone copies Pep. The ball's on the ground now.
mental.
The ball gets played through lines. Thiago Silva, one of the smartest players to play. He's picked that up, and that's what Pep's done. He's revolutionized. I've said a lot that revolutionized a lot today, but he's done that. He's changed the whole league.
It's definitely a big aspect
Bournemouth
of
are
it.
playing it. Brentford are playing. Like everyone plays this different styles.
I just think with Sir Alex, we talk about the Klopp and Pep debate. Klopp couldn't do Pep, and Pep couldn't do Klopp.
Pep's done now. It's Pep.
Yeah.
Sir Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Pep
but
stuff.
whereas if you look at Sir Alex, he did it with the best team, with the big players, but he also did it when in teams where it wasn't the best team. You look at like some of the leagues they won, they weren't the best team, but you look at them.
We're in the era now of 100 points where he's in the era of 78 points.
Yeah, that is a real thing as well.
Yeah.
It's always going to be hard to compare.
It's just
You're
like a
always gonna have an
basketball
argument.
Jordan, LeBron debate. You can never...
do you not get
be, like-
do you not get that little bit of it though? Sir Alex did do it in
Has
both
Pep- has
Pep
Pep-
and the Klopp way.
Has Pep even had the chance though to do it with
No.
a bad team? Like to do it with
No,
a bad
no,
team?
no.
Because he's always worked at clubs.
To be honest, though, he
Where he's had
put
money
together
out,
he
and he's-
put together Barcelona very well.
And he's put together City as well.
He's put together City very
He had
well.
the money to do it.
Okay, no. With City, I
Jesus
agree.
Christ,
I
how much
agree.
money? How many teams have spent money and it's all gone pear shaped?
No, I agree. But with the
Pep has
Barcelona
got-
one's a bit of a far-fetched.
That's not far.
Yeah,
He put it together though. He made Barcelona that refound
He
that
was the
Cruyff
manager
system.
of that-
yeah, he
of that
refound
Barcelona
what Cruyff
team.
was all about. He that Cruyff domination refound itself in Pep Guardiola. It resurfaced itself.
Whether obviously Pep had an instrumental part
You
to
can't
play
say it was
in those
obviously-
players' development.
Obviously, you can't say it's just Pep.
But those
the way
players
that-
there we're talking about,
You know,
all
but-
11 of that
but we
starting
keep
11
saying this.
go down as the
Yeah.
greatest players of all time.
I know, but you're not listening. Like, he has to put that together. You have to demand respect. That was his first gig, one of his first early gigs, right? And he's gone and demanded that. He's refound what Barcelona was all about. Not that they were bad before it, but, they had to refine the domination. He found it.
Yeah.
He dominated. He's gone to Bayern. He got it to Bayern was probably Leicester. It was already there. Did itself. But then City as well. That team changed like that.
Yeah,
and he found what he needed. He
went
put
in
together
and
and did
got
it.
rid of good players.
Yeah.
because they just didn't. They didn't.
And
they
when he
weren't gonna
stuffed
work on
up
him.
in Navas, Bravo. When he stuffed up with that, he'd fix it.
Had a few fallbacks, didn't
Yeah.
go to plan, but
And he still fixes it.
But yeah.
That's the thing of a good manager.
I love Pep though as well with how he tries to
Pep
take
is so good.
how he tries to take the pressure off all his players.
He takes
him.
all the blame. He
It's
takes all
always
the blame.
him.
Pep
He takes
takes
all the blame, but even in the stuff like he takes the pressure off that next striker that's going to come in. Like straight away with Aguero, he's like,
We will not
no
replace him.
no
We
player
will
will
not
ever
replace
replace
him.
him.
We
No
will
player
not- we will not replace-
He knew he'd
The
replace
greatest
him.
interview of all
But the
time.
thing
Oh my
was,
God.
because when Jesus then took over, he didn't want to put that pressure onto Jesus. And even with Haaland to an
Okay, well, Jesus, no, that was a different time. You mismatched the time period.
No.
It was Haaland.
With Haaland next.
No, I know, no, but he went Aguero, then Jesus, then Haaland.
Nah,
It
they were
went-
together
no,
because
it
they
went-
both played.
What?
that.
It was straight after Haaland
Yes,
from Aguero.
Haaland signed the season after Aguero.
No,
I swear he did.
He did.
nah. Aguero's
Yes, he
been
did.
gone for 3
Aguero-
seasons now.
No, Aguero.
Because
retired.
Aguero went to Barca.
Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping.
It was at least one season without it.
What?
There was one season without it.
I'm tripping. as
There's
well,
one
I
season-
swear
there was
they
one
signed
season without
Haaland
it.
The season after.
Nope,
Because everyone's
Aguero.
like, we could replace
I'm
him.
putting my hand on my heart here. I'm putting my hand on my heart
You
here.
might be right because Aguero's been gone. For
We cannot
so
replace
long.
him. 2021.
Yeah, and he only signed 2022. It was one season. There was one season.
That's crazy. I didn't date that. I genuinely thought it was the same thing. Because in the meme, like, you can't replace him. Then
There was
Haaland
one
rocks up.
season, that season where it was just Sterling bagging goals and they won the Prem, remember?
He was at Barca. He went to Barca.
Yeah, like the whole,
And then he
attack.
had a
Frick.
All right, to finish up, to end us all off, just go through your list one more time before we... The
whole thing?
Just, read it from 20 to 1.
Yeah,
so we
okay,
know
no
what we'll
problem.
finish up on. And we can wrap it up for the week.
So Company, Edwards, Nuno, Wilder, Hodgson, Silva, Howe, Frank, Areola, Deitch, O'Neill, Moyes, Ten Hag, Poch, Ange, Arteta, Deservi, Emery,
Zerbi
Klopp,
over
Pep.
Arteta is crazy, man.
Yeah, okay, we've already
Your
discussed
list.
this. Don't need to go back in the past.
Okay, so I've got last place Vincent Company as the certified worst manager in the league.
Consensus.
Rob Edwards, Nuno Dos Santos, Chris Wilder, Roy Hodgson probably gets a bit of a stiff go. Iriola, Marco Silva, Eddie Howe, Ten Hag, David Moyes, De Zerbi, Gary O'Neill after his wonders at Wolves and Bournemouth, Poch, Thomas Frank, Ange, Sean Dyche, Unai Emery, Mikel Arteta, Jurgen Klopp,
big boys.
and Pep Guardiola.
Yeah. And I went Company 20. 19 was Nuno, 18 Wilder, 17 Hodgson, 16 Edwards, 15 Eddie Howe, 14 Gary O'Neill, 13 Frank, 12 Dyche, 11 Silva,
That's low.
10 Ten Hag, David Moyes 9, Pochettino 8th, Iriola 7th, Roberto Zerbi 6th, Ange 5, Unai 4, Mikel 3, and then the big two, Jurgen and Pep. Close enough, I think.
There's a few stinkers. I'll
Few
address off
stinkers.
camera there.
Yeah. Few have to
Otherwise, we'll drag. You can debate every.
We could take this. We could be here all day
for
otherwise.
so long.
Well, that's our non-Premier League week. We did it quite well actually this week. Wrapped up quite convincingly. I think we got a half weekend coming up. Like, I think there's only 4 games. So next week we have to make something else up.
Only
to
4
fill in the
games?
games. Yeah, the game week split across 2 weekends.
So what's happening then for the teams that
I
play
literally have
this
idea.
week?
I was looking at it last
I
night.
don't know.
So some teams will not play any Premier League football for like 3 weeks.
Basically, yeah,
No, 3.
Oh, anyway.
because of FA. But I think we might be. It depends how we go. We might be here for a watch along. United Spurs on Sunday night, Monday morning, Sunday night over there in England. So maybe we might see how we go. Thanks, boys, coming on.
Thank you.
Had a good episode. And until next time, guys. See you then.